The memories are vivid, and the scars are more prevalent. The Catholic League's Central Division is certainly no exception. The quad of mega giants has produced 18 state titles since we entered the 21st century. Tonight, it's the newest of the Central Division rivalries squaring off in Orchard Lake as St. Mary's invites CC to the Red Sea. The Detroit Catholic Central Shamrocks punch in tonight with 2 fistfuls of state titles in their illustrious history. The area codes have changed, but the winning hasn't. From Harper Avenue to Breakfast Drive to Novi, the Basilians and Valiant Blue have smash-mouthed their way to a record 17 state title appearances. Meanwhile, the 8-time state champion Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets enter competition on some kind of high. An upset win over Brother Rice last week has the Eaglets soaring and in position to share some hardware. With momentum now, the former Eaglet All-American and first-year head coach Jermaine Gonzalez just might have his club ramping up at the right time. It's Week 7 on Gridiron Game Day, and now it's time for a Catholic League Central Division showdown between Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Detroit Catholic Central. And now, let's go live to Molesky Field in Orchard Lake for Gridiron Game Day.
You're looking live at Monsignor Molesky Field, live on a Friday night, and ready to do battle on Gridiron Game Day. It's Week 7, and St. Mary's and CC ready to settle business in the final Central Division regular season game for both these clubs. Hello again, everybody. My name is Chad Bush, alongside Sam Stickday. We've got football Central Division style, Sam. An exciting night here for St. Mary's on homecoming, taking on a Catholic Central team that played just on Sunday in the Boys Bowl. A lot at stake here, a chance for this team, whoever comes out victorious, to share the Central Division title.
Yeah, which is pretty astounding for Orchard Lake St. Mary's coming into this game 2-4, but that big win last week against Brother Rice kind of vaulted them into this position. And as you mentioned, CC coming off a game on Sunday, they're a little bit beaten up right now. You kind of have two teams trending in different directions, but they're colliding today. And like you said, there's a lot on the line, even though it's 2-4 versus 4-2.
St. Mary's coming in on a high against the win against Brother Rice, 15-7 stick, in a game that, look, they really needed to get into the playoffs. They did get the win. They take on a Catholic Central team that knocked off Brother Rice just a couple of weeks ago, 21-19. There's certainly common opponents both ways that these teams can look at. What do you see when you benchmark these two clubs?
Well, when these two teams get together, first of all, you never know what's going to happen. This is one of the greatest rivalries inside of the Catholic League. And so when these two teams take the field, you're really going to see the best out of both of them. And for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, just some things that I'm going to look for out of them is just how they can get established on offense early and how they can keep the pace of the game going. And for Catholic Central, it's going to be big to bounce back from Sunday. This is a mental test for them as well as a physical test whenever you play on this big red turf.
Absolutely. 24th meeting all time between these teams. St. Mary's trails the series to Catholic Central 19-14. This is playing for a share of the Catholic League Central Division title. Now, listen, De La Salle has won the Central Division, but if you're finished 2-1 and the other team finishes 2-1, you have a share and a tie. But certainly De La Salle is the champion of the Central Division.
Yeah, De La Salle is the class of almost the state, if you want to have that argument, besides a couple, question marks during the season. But yeah, and anytime you share it, you've won it too. You've earned it. There is no backing into first place, right? You made it there. You won the games that were necessary to win, and it puts you in position to compete.
Catholic Central 4-2 overall, St. Mary's 2-4. Let's take a look at the impact players in this game. Several to choose from on both sides. We'll start with the Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central.
Yeah, first of all, Brady Blakita. First of all, I saw him out there during warm-ups. He's the emotional leader of this team. He was clapping his hands. He was breaking these guys down. He was getting the team in line to do their calisthenics. He is clearly the captain of this team. And then you're looking at Mr. Hager right here, Evan Hager, the running back. Obviously, great athlete. He's going to Alabama for baseball, so expect for him to have a decent impact on this game. Cameron Lloyd, defensive back. He's a safety, and that's going to be an important position tonight for Catholic Central. Orchard Lake St. Mary's likes to run the play action. It's going to be important on him to stay on his spot and on his assignment. And then, of course, Brady at linebacker. He's the best player on the defense. Is Tuck coming? We don't know. Is he going to Michigan State? That is one thing. He's a sideline-to-sideline guy. He covers a lot of ground. And then we flip over to the Orchard Lake St. Mary's side. They have a lot of key players going on in this game, and especially coming off a big win that they're all going to want to show out. Getting a look at big number 12 right there for Catholic Central. But Daryl Rounds, big, dominant force. They're going to rely on him to bust open some big holes and protect. And the guy that he's going to be protecting, Braden Layden. I mean, he is a quarterback. He started last year for St. Mary's. Different system this year, completely different system. He's had to learn it, but it's looking like he's starting to embrace it, and it's starting to pick up some steam. And then we look at Zane Nesson at linebacker, another sideline-to-sideline guy, but a quiet guy, right? He's the guy that you worry about, the guy that never says a word but shows up when you least expect it. And then Cam Everett, another guy, 2 interceptions last week. He's a senior. He also is an emotional leader of this defense. So it's going to be a great matchup here at Orchard Lake.
St. Mary's Catholic Central. We talked to both head coaches, and we will hear from both on the other side of this timeout. A beautiful night for football, 50 degrees, Week 7, Gridiron game day coming at you from Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It's the Shamrocks and the Eaglets for a share of the title on a Friday night.
Dan Anderson, 6th year as head coach, 32 years coaching altogether, 23 years at Catholic Central. Yeah, I mean, it was nice for Tom to give me an opportunity. You know, I got hired on to teach here, and I had to interview with Tom to get the coaching job, and it was nice that I could be hired on. Started out as an assistant on the freshman team, and then next year I moved up to JV, did that JV head coach for 5 years, and then took over as, defensive coordinator and then head coach. I think the tradition definitely is different than anywhere I've ever been. How strong it is, and then also the brotherhood amongst the boys. It's something special. Right, yeah, it's it's the best division of football, I think, in the state of Michigan. Always have said that. The Central Division is the toughest. You just never know. Every week you got to be ready. I think we talked about that earlier, that you can't take anyone for granted because everyone's going to come ready to play. Oh, they mean a lot. I mean, I think each stop makes you grow a little bit more. I learned a lot, everywhere I've been. And I've coached with a lot of good men. And so I think that's helped to make me the kind of coach that I am. Tom Mack, Eric Kostick, Ed Domsites, just to name a few. Oh, it means everything. I mean, I feel like we're in a good position, even though we lost the last game. I feel like we are positioned and healthy to keep moving forward. So that's our goal, is to keep moving forward. It makes a world of difference. I think every coach comes out here and they say, they kind of breathe a sigh of relief that they get to be out here instead of what they're doing during the day, And it's the kids make it. The kids make it special, and that's why you come to practice every day for them. I think the biggest thing is enjoy the ride. Take it all in, enjoy every moment of it. It's not always going to be easy. It's not going to, but you just got to enjoy the ride and keep working,
Jermaine Gonzalez, this is my first year, 2022, coaching the varsity football team here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Been coaching football probably 14, 15 years now. It's rewarding to see, your kids kind of progress and get better each week. That's the beauty of the game and sport, because it's easy to, you lose, and how do you stay focused and keep that momentum, right? So I think we got a resilient group that know that they can play. Just a lot of teaching and teaching with these kids right now, because we do have a young team, but ultimately they want to play football and they're having fun. So, it was a big game for us. Obviously, anytime you play a rival in a well-coached team like Brother Rice, it's a good feeling. Our boys was up for it. When I played here, those were the big rivalry games, and we knew how to get the boys up for it. So it was a great win, great feeling for us to get that War Eagle trophy back in house. So it haven't been really tough. I think one thing we do a great job of with our coaching staff is building relationships and trust with our kids. So when we do come to them and say, hey, we need you here, we need you to do this, they know it's for their best interest and for the interest of the team ultimately. And they're willing to do whatever they need to do for the team. So not really a challenge. So definitely not a fun week for me as a coach, but to the school, yes, it's a lot of fun and activities going on in the school. It's that balance of trying to keep focus with the kids. That's the hardest part. My biggest thing is, as long as they're focused this week, I'm good with it. And sometimes I know I can see them a little tired in practice because they've been jumping and running around all day during the day with the homecoming stuff. But ultimately, the kids are focused. They're locked in because they know that this is another big game that we got in front of us against CC. So it was a huge factor. Like I stated before, Coach Gees, our defensive coordinator, really stressed on turnovers all week in practice. That was a focal point for our defense. And just to see those guys go out there and execute it. I mean, we can talk about it as coaches all day, but to see your boys actually go out and execute it, that lets me know they really wanted to win and wanted to be successful and do what they're coached to do. So they did a great job. That set the tone for everything else. We even got one on special teams too, which was a big deal too as well. So physical team, well-coached team. They're going to want to hit you in the mouth every play. They're going to be prepared. It's going to be a rivalry game. They're gonna come here on the Red Sea and want to come take it over. So that's just the nature of this game, and we're looking forward to it because we're going to be ready for it. So the brotherhood, camaraderie, walking the boys over to the chapel before pregame prayer and listening to them do the 10 Hail Marys and get excited afterwards and come back here ready to play the game. I mean, that's a feeling that only a selected few know what it is. So I think that's one of the best things I would say. So big time. I mean, born and raised in Pontiac. I mean, I really feel like this is an extension of Pontiac, but because it's so close. But it's very important. Family, friends, everything. How they come and support and all that good stuff. So it's a big deal.
They say that this is a game of inches, but I disagree. This is a game of desire and will. 4 quarters of epic drama that plays out in real time right before our very eyes. And every season begins the same way, with a desire to win. Those with the will to put in the effort and time put themselves in the best position to achieve their desire. This is why we go to work early and come home late. Why we go so hard and why we put in all these hours. Because we have a desire to be great and the will to become everything we dreamed of and more. So when the drama's thick and it comes down to just those few precious inches, we have no doubt what the outcome will be. Because we have the will to outwork anyone to get what we desire. It doesn't matter if it's inches or 100 yards. We want it more, and we're gonna take it. That's game.
Today I'm gonna tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to the Prep. I'm Lexi Ayala. Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Detroit Catholic Central are two teams that want to make sure they're battle-tested in the regular season so they're ready come playoff time. Shamrocks head coach Dan Anderson told me that both of these teams have pretty similar schedules. They both outsource and play non-conference games in order to compete against some of the best teams in the state. However, he said the most competitive games are right here in the Catholic League. For example, Brother Rice beat De La Salle. De La Salle beat Detroit Catholic Central. Detroit Catholic Central beat Brother Rice. Orchard Lake St. Mary's also beat Brother Rice, but also lost to De La Salle. Did you catch all that? That's the competition in this league every Friday night. Chad?
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Lexi Ayala. Back up here in the booth. We appreciate that. No doubt, a very competitive Central Division stick. St. Mary's currently with the state's most competitive schedule thus far, strength of schedule. CC entered this year with the toughest schedule. What are your keys to victory here tonight, sir?
Well, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the key for victory is to get their offense established early. That's something that really helps them out in the long run, especially when you're trying to put in a new offense. You really want to get comfortable in it early, and then you can start to open up the playbook a little bit, and then you switch over to the defensive side. Contain Bo Jackson. First of all, greatest name in all of sports, Bo Jackson. Second of all, you must contain him. He is going to be kind of the way that Catholic Central goes as he goes. And then you flip over to the CC side of the ball. Control the game on the ground.
Two guys that will control it on the ground back there. The guy who controls it in the air, Blakita, has it at the goal line, racing up that right side, and he is tackled deep in his own territory. And coming up to make the stick is
number 12 for CC with the return.
Number 9 for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That is Jack Bardis getting things started for the Eaglets on special teams. He recovered that onside kick last week against Rice to clinch it, and St. Mary's 15-7 lead. Here comes Detroit Catholic Central. Comes in 4-2, 1-1 in the Central Division under Dan Anderson in his 6th year. And it's a Catholic Central offense. It will start with Bo Jackson at the quarterback spot. Hager to his left, a little dinged up with that ankle he told us earlier in practice this week. 3 wide receivers. The give is to Hager, and the Alabama commit fights forward and has a healthy gain of 3 on first down as we take a look at the Detroit Catholic Central offense. It's an offense that's put up 25 points this year. It's a 2-quarterback system with a couple of sophomores splitting time, and Bo Jackson and Skylar Hunter. It's Bo Jackson to start. It's an offense that's led by Kevin Glenn, the former Detroit DePorres star and CFL star. And it's 2nd and 7 for the Shamrocks. Hager again cuts back against the grain, has a few yards. It's a St. Mary's defense that's really tightened up stick in recent weeks. They were gouged by De La Salle 2 weeks ago for 56 points. They bounced back and gave up just 7 last week against Brother Rice. Ray was not in the lineup for Rice, certainly a factor we must not ignore, but an improvement for St. Mary's defensively. The backs and receivers, Hager, we told you about. Lions will also run the football, a 3-year guy. Brady Blakita, 2 touchdowns against Rice. Won a 99-yard pickoff, return pick 6. DJ Lee, a transfer from Bloomfield Hills, a good basketball player as well. Nico Ginrich, a wide receiver. Out route is too far outside the outstretched arms of Brady Blakita, and it's punting time for the Shamrocks, who go 3 and out.
Yeah, Bo Jackson just missing his wide receiver on that throw. He was open on the out pattern, and that's what they were warming up doing before the game. They ran about 15 of those, and he was pretty on target in warm-ups, but a little bit of pressure on you sometimes can make for an errant throw, and that's what happened to CC on that 3rd down.
Off the fingertips of the 5'9" Brady Blakita, an electric playmaker, and yes, as you said earlier, part of the heart of this team, an emotional leader. So here comes the punter, Kyle Ewing. Not yet. The snapper is Kyle Roberts. The return man for Orchard Lake St. Mary's is the true freshman, A.J. Marks. Just turned 15 years old. He's back at his CC's 45, and this thing's going to go back even further now, Stick.
Yeah, false start on CC, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's lucky that wasn't on them, too, because that would have been a first down. So St. Mary's little holding your breath action when that flag got thrown.
No doubt. Marks will stand at his 43. The punter, Ewing, from the St. Mary's end zone. Gets it away at the goal line. Marks will call for the fair catch at the 39, and that's where this St. Mary's offense will start. under Braden Layden, the senior quarterback stick. And it's been an offense for St. Mary's. It's put up points, not consistently. They haven't quite put it all together. They want this to be their week.
Yeah, and you kind of expect that year one of implementing a brand new system after 30-plus years into an operation like Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And, this is about the time where you should start seeing the results. You should have the rhythm. You should have an understanding of the offense by Game 6, Game 7.
Yep. You get a look at Layden. He'll send 3 wide receivers out. He's looking deep right away for Mooney. Throwing deep. Got a man caught at the 5, down to the end zone. And down at the 1 is Ryan Mooney. One of the most exciting stories in high school football in the state of Michigan. A Notre Dame baseball commit decided to decommit last week, and the offers have been flooding in from high majors from all across the country, and this is why.
And this is how you start off homecoming night, right? You do the play action, which we talked about. CC was going to have to protect against that play action pass. And just outside the outstretched arms, he's down about the half-yard line.
Down to the 2. Look at this. Full house. Handoff left side. Cole Olston, the goal line running back, is into the end zone. Touchdown, Eaglets. Just 2 offensive plays into this game. St. Mary's carries that momentum from the Brother Rice win into the black end zone. Touchdown, St. Mary's, and a quick start on offense.
And you know what you just saw in one drive with 2 plays? The old Orchard Lake St. Mary's and the new Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Play action deep pass to start off the game. Wing T backfield to finish off the 2-yard run. George Port would be proud.
Yes, sir. Here comes a snap from Chudler. The hold from Bardis. And the extra point is up and good from Jenner Lieb. So with 9:41 to go in the first, the Eaglets strike first on a 2-play drive. St. Mary's leads 7-0. We're back on Gridiron Game Day right after this.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to MI Orthosurgeon.
Jenner Lieb, the senior, to boot it away. And he kicks this one high and deep. Blakita from his own 5. Blakita with some room. Watch out. 30, 35, 40. Down the sideline. 30, 20. Inside the Eaglet 20. Brady Blakita with a huge run. An 80-yard return. And CC gets that momentum right back with their most electric offensive player, who's proven it all season long, Brady Blakita.
I saw it before the game, and I was telling you about it. This is the emotional leader of the team. He is out there to get his team fired up. And what do you do after your team goes down 7-0 early? You return a kickoff 80 yards to put your team inside the 20-yard line. Excellent, excellent return for Catholic Central.
74 yards officially on the return from Blakita's stick. And Brady's been that kind of guy. He'll line up slot right. Bo Jackson and CC looking to knot this thing up. These two teams not known for the high scoring as of late. CC was shut out last week. St. Mary scored 15. Hager left side is buried. And Skylar Bonner came up to make the stop along with DJ White, the safety. Hager's had a big year, but was injured in the second play last week. I say last week, it was just Sunday, Stick.
5 days ago.
In the Boys Bowl for CC. How much of an impact is that? 2 less days of recovery for a team that played a bone-bruising game in a Boys Bowl, an emotional game against De La Salle, who something could be the top team in the league.
I mean, you talk about NFL players talk about how it's hard to rebound. For high school kids, it's even harder.
Bo Jackson has time, throws slot left, caught, and the catch is made by number 21. That's Jaden Pyden. Pydon with a catch. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 4 for CC.
It's interesting. The first drive for CC, they started trying to run the ball up the middle. You can see they're now going to the spread offense, and even when they're running the play, it's to the outside on a pitch.
Kafulis, Josh Janda, who's moved from that end spot down to D tackle. Jack Janda, the freshman, starts at a D end. His first career start. Hager, right side, has a 1st down and more down to the 4-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. And Evan Hager, the future center fielder for the Crimson Tide of Alabama, cracking another seal there for CC.
And that was smart of CC. Like I said, they were spreading it out, and then you run it up the middle. If you start out running up the middle when the defense is expecting it, not going to work. But when you spread the defense out like that and then bust them up inside, you get a positive play.
Nesson, one of your impact players, along with Olston and Bonner, an electric linebacking unit. Bonner has been very strong in the middle of that defense. Marks the corner, a freshman. DJ White, a safety, just a sophomore. Cam Everett, the veteran, back there as a corner, 2 picks last week, and Antoine Thomas at a safety spot. Handoff in the middle, trying the center of that Eaglet defensive line, and it's a gain of about 2 down to the 2-yard line with 7:20 left. CC trying to answer the St. Mary's score. The Eaglets scored on a 2-play drive and into the end zone thanks to the 39-yard reception from Ryan Mooney that set him up at the 1, and Cole Olston plunged in.
CC had an interesting look on that. They had their tight end split out, and he was just covered, and you see it down here at the bottom of your screen. Orchard Lake St. Mary's cornerback, a little smaller than the CC wide receiver. You wonder if they're going to throw a jump ball.
Yep, that's Nico Genrich.
Nope.
Give up the middle, and it's a touchdown, Catholic Central. Evan Hager, touchdown, and we're an extra point away from being knotted up in the first quarter of this Central Division rivalry. Hager bouncing back, partner, after the ankle injury. Looks to be healthy right here.
Yeah, nice cut there, too. If it was his right ankle, it's pretty healthy. He was able to put that in the ground and just get into the end zone. And, you know, we talked about it before the game. When these two teams get on the field, you never know what's going to happen. You said that both of them aren't known for their highly prolific scoring offenses. And here we go, 6 minutes into the game, 2 touchdowns.
Lategi in for the extra point, the sophomore who's been really good all year. Out of the hold of Skylar Hunter, and he has tied this game at 7 with 6:46 to go in the first. So an Evan Hager touchdown run ties it up. We're coming back to Molesky Field in Orchard Lake on Week 7 Gridiron Game Day. We're knotted up at 7 aside.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Detroit Catholic Central 4-2, looking to get to 5-2 and a share of the Central Division title. Private school, all boys, 958 students. Dan Anderson is in his 6th year. State champions 10 times over, last in 2009. But the Shamrocks have 17 state title appearances, the most in the state of Michigan. And of course, Mike Martin, former Wolverine, former Tennessee Titan, and Philadelphia Eagle, 2-time All Big Ten. Former Michigan Wolverine, 3 sports All-State, no big deal. Oh, and he was the Michigan High School Gatorade Player of the Year his senior year. You remember Mike Martin.
I do. Still hanging with Mike Martin.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He is. Is he going to be at your birthday party tonight?
I hope so.
I think we could probably get him there. He's probably on your list. I want to get into this guest list you got cooking. Let's talk more about that. St. Mary's return. It was a big return for Catholic Central that set up the touchdown. It was a short field, and it was a 74-yard kickoff return special team stick that got CC in motion by a familiar playmaker in Brady Blakita.
Yeah, that was a huge moment in this game, too, because, you know, if you start out this game down 7 and then all of a sudden you have to do a quick 3 and out and Orchard Lake St. Mary's has the ball back, it's a completely different ball game. Now, fresh game, 6 minutes left first quarter.
Yes, sir. It was a 3-play drive, 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Handoff right side And St. Mary's has a short gain of 3 yards, forced out by number 14. That's the outside linebacker, and a good one, Spencer Lyons, the senior. The carry for St. Mary's by number 20, and that is their starting tailback tonight, Trey Goike, 5'8", senior. Sophomore, rather. Gain of 4 on the play. In the gun, Layden, hands off, Goike up the middle. The sophomore has a couple. It's a stout line for CC. We'll meet the defenders in a moment for Catholic Central. They'll set up a 3rd and short here, Stick, under 6 minutes, tied at 7 in this ever-important Central Division battle.
Yeah, and this is staying on down and distance. This is a makeable 3rd down for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The whole playbook is open. We'll see what Jermaine Gonzalez comes up with.
It's a new center. Justin Sigler, a big miss, is out tonight at center. Was injured last week. And a fresh face in there. A lot of pressure on Zorab Badarian. Crisp snap there. Hitch route. Mooney bobbled, caught, dropped, and caught again. Ryan Mooney with a catch and some concentration.
That reception looks to be enough.
It's enough for the first down to the 45. Gain of 6. Move the chains. Ryan Mooney with 2 big catches already in this game, and we're just halfway through the first.
And I like that call by Jermaine Gonzalez. You hit him on a big play early, get him on a curl route there.
They'll try the middle this time, and it's tough tracking against this Catholic Central defense. You look at the Shamrocks defensively, quite stout. Aiden Lemieux in the middle of that one. JoJo Massey up front as well. Senior, 4-year varsity player Josh Ross and Kyle Roberts on the ends. The linebacker's really good as well. Braden Courser, one of the best in the state. 6'1", 215. Deciding between Michigan, Michigan State, and some other MAC schools. Spencer Lyons out there. Henry Graves steps into the lineup, and that's a big spot for Catholic Central. They lost their linebacker, Beckler Hauser, last week in the rivalry game on Boys Bowl on Sunday. And a big responsibility for Henry Graves tonight. The senior, Blakita, Lloyd, Hager, and Davis on the back end. A solid one for Catholic Central. Slant route is dropped. Layden was looking left side. Incomplete. 4th down.
Yeah, that was wide open. Antoine Thomas, it looked like he got a little bit of those crocodile arms when he was going over the middle. You could tell he just kind of slowed up his pace just a little bit and ended up dropping the pass. But that play was there, and those slant plays have been there so far for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yep, that's one you got to grab. Good throw by Braden. So it's punting time for St. Mary's. And this is Jenner Lieb, who also handles the kicking. Brady Blakita, who's dangerous, is back at his 11. Has it. Had a 74-yard return earlier, does not here. Tackled by Chris Coates, the sophomore. And so CC will start their third offensive drive somewhere in between of what they've seen. It's been 3 different story tales for CC's possessions.
Yeah, back and forth game already in this first quarter. I can't believe we've not even played 8 minutes. We've already had 5 possessions and 2 scores. So this is going to be a fun game all game long here at Orchard Lake. The beautiful red turf underneath the lights. Friday night, doesn't get any better than this.
You look at this series, it's been competitive, Stick, but CC has grabbed St. Mary's the last 3 times in this series. 24th meeting all time. The teams did not meet for the first time until 1994. Bo Jackson fires left side. Blakita has it, makes a man miss, spins out of another tackle, and has himself a healthy gain of about 8 yards on first down. That's the electricity and the athleticism of number 12, a playmaker already showing out for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, when he gets the ball in his hands, you kind of just hold your breath. You don't know what's going to happen next, and it looked like he had an opportunity to bust that to the outside for a big gain.
Last year, CC won in Novi 21-0. Shamrocks lead the series 19-14. 19-15 if you count the 1942 meeting. Robin Goddard won't make me forget about that one. 4-game win streak is the longest in the series for both teams. That happened back-to-back from 2004 to 2012. Handoff right side, this is Lyons. And on a 3rd and 2nd and 2, he gets 1. So It's a St. Mary's defense that's made changes. Dan Giesling in this 4-2-5 defense, a lot of Minnesota Golden Gopher influence. They've made some moves defensively, Stick, and some of them showing up right here.
Yeah, you like that. Anytime you can go within the season and kind of adjust to your team, because like we've been talking about, it's all new systems all the way around, and Jack Jonda is one of those guys that they slid in there and has made a difference.
Just a freshman. Handoff up the middle, and not going to get to the first down marker. That was Lyons.
Looks like they're going to give it to him.
Oh, they are. So a nice spot, and they will say Lyons crossed it.
But that run looks to be enough.
Move the chains
for a CC first down.
So a conversion, get a look there, and I don't know. Fine job by St. Mary's coming up to make that play. Cole Olston along with Zane Nesson, a couple of active linebackers. So first down from the 35 in a tie game. Bo Jackson from the gun. Looking right, looking deep against A.J. Marks. Incomplete. Fine one-on-one play. The Shamrocks were looking deep for DJ Lee, the transfer from Bloomfield Hills and the fine basketball star. But A.J. Marks, the freshman, said, that's how you turn on a football and make a play.
Yeah, and I talked about it earlier down here on the offensive end, or on the defensive end. He's a smaller guy, and he's going up against much taller guys, and you would expect CC to try to pick on that, but there he was able to get his head around his right hand, defend the ball. That's about as good as it gets on the defensive end.
Jermaine Gonzalez saying he's just getting better every week. Sounds cliche, he said, but no, he really is. We saw A.J. Marks make his first career start in week 3 against Hudsonville. Week 2. Blakita gets the end around and has a healthy gain of 5 on the right side before he's tied up.
To the right side.
Olston coming over to make the tackle. Catholic Central, this offense putting up 25 points per game. It's an offense that's coordinated by Kevin Glenn, the former Detroit DePorres star. He played 18 years in the CFL. 18. He played for every team in the CFL. He's the only player to do that in the Canadian Football League, and he just got out of Canada a couple years ago. He didn't want to leave. If you've ever been to Windsor, you know why. I never wanted to leave Windsor either. Bo Jackson is tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. And the St. Mary's sack goes to Josh Janda, the converted defensive end and the junior, with his brother who graduated a year ago and playing lacrosse at UAD, looking on from the sidelines.
And that was a big stop for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Catholic Central was, slowly moving the ball. They had success down here in the red zone, and they were able to pick up a couple of first downs. Big stop on third down. Now Orchard Lake St. Mary's gets the ball back, and their crowd is back into this ball game.
Marks is back deep to receive this high-hanging punt from the 25. Kyle Ewing with a dandy. Marks with a return. And he is tackled downfield. Fine, secure tackle by Lee Kruger, the sophomore. So here comes the St. Mary's offense for the third time tonight as we get another look at this sack for Mr. Janda.
Yeah, the pocket just collapses. He tries to step up and get out of it, but no, Mr. Janda's right there, like you said, and that's a good team defensive sack, too. Janda got the stats, but the team forced that.
Great coverage downfield, to your point. Out route is caught. Short gain, bumped out of bounds quickly.
Quick hitter to number 4.
As the push out of bounds after Zane Wilson makes the catch.
Wilson with the reception.
The junior from Clarkston. So second down and 6.
Sets up a 2nd and 6 for your
3 wide receivers. Layden in the gun. Handoff Goike up the middle. Skyrockets himself forward before he's tackled.
I don't even know if that was a handoff. It looked like it was almost a direct snap by accident, but it worked out. And you could tell the up-tempo pace for Orchard Lake St. Mary's is something that we have never seen out of them.
No, sir. Nesson, the running back, he'll share that with Olston. And also Goike, who's gotten a lot more run lately. Ryan Mooney, Antoine Thomas, Duke Coates, and Bryce Jadzik. Throw over the middle, caught. No, incomplete. Fine defensive play and a reach-in that broke it up. And tip of the cap. Fine defensive play that time
pass intended for
by number 21, Jaden Pyden here.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little bit of pass interference early on this, but the ref was right there, and then he dropped the ball, unfortunately, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
That's Jack Janda, the freshman, with a drop. We'll credit the fine play, but punting time nonetheless in this tie game with time winding down. This should be the final play of the first quarter. We'll talk to Lexi Ayala at the start of the second. It's a fair catch called for by Blakita.
Punt. Fair caught by number 12.
And Stick, look, Central Division, iron sharpens iron. These two teams going at it.
Yep.
Hard to believe they didn't play until 1994. We saw the history earlier. This has become a nice rivalry and something that St. Mary's, a school that had about 300 kids when the rivalry started, and CC had about 1,000 and change. And it's sort of even since, but it's always been a tough, hard-nosed rivalry.
Well, I'll tell you what, I graduated from Orchard Lake St. Mary's in 1999, shortly after the rivalry started, and had you not told me that, I would have never known. I would have thought it went back 100 years, because when I got here, it was CC, Brother Rice. Yeah. CC, Brother Rice.
Sure. Would you rank those 1 and 2 as the rivals?
1 and 1A.
1 and 1A, sure. Handoff up the middle. That's Hager.
Number 2,
he's got a nice gain. Crossed the first down marker, so a gain of 10. We end the first quarter, enter the second. We've solved nothing but seen a lot of exciting offense so far. Great football, Central Division Catholic League. Coming back right after this.
Your score.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Lexi Ayala here with Candace Castiglione, Dean of Admissions. Candace, I know it's been a big week for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Spirit Week. Tell me about it.
This really is the best week of the year at St. Mary's, and I think in my 13 years of being here at Orchard Lake, I'd have to say that this was absolutely the best Spirit Week that we've had. I think the greatest thing has just been the brotherhood and the sisterhood. The excitement is here. The love of St. Mary's is here. It's been incredible.
And talking about the sisterhood, I know the girls division has been up for 3 years now. Tell me about how it's going.
Yeah. So what's great about being a co-divisional school is it's like having two schools on one campus. So we've got an all-boys division and an all-girls division, and it's the best of both worlds. It's everything you could want in that single-gender environment, but all that fun stuff of high school. The Spirit Week, the homecoming, all of that. It's awesome.
And Candace, I know it's hard to get in. There's a wait list. Orchard Lake St. Mary's is a hot school in Michigan, and there's an open house coming up.
Yes. So right now we're on a wait list in every grade in both divisions, and our open house is Sunday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to noon. You can pre-register right on our website, stmarysprep.com. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day.
Can't wait to be there. Everybody make sure to check it out if you're interested in Orchard Lake St. Mary's. This was Candace Castiglione. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chad.
Thanks so much, Lexi Ayala. Yeah, Candace Castiglione is an all-star for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And easy to see and hear and understand why St. Mary's girls division thriving and the boys as well. And they're at the peak of where they're at right now. Candace a big part of it. Back to the football game. A fine play here, a pitch and catch. Jackson finds his target.
Yeah, and we're starting to see Evan Hager starting to kind of favor his ankle a little bit, but that's the beauty of having a Brady Blakita on your team. You can start turning over the touches to him.
Blakita with a first down catch. Jackson in trouble. Ball loose, picked up. And watch out, Spencer Lyons is going to pick it up and gain a first down. Johnny on the spot, and Spencer Lyons, after the forced fumble, St. Mary's forced 5 fumbles last week against Rice after not forcing any all year. They forced one here, but it doesn't help, Stick.
Yeah, like my dad used to say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And you get a sack, a fumble, your player's right there, picks up the ball and runs for 15 yards.
Gabe Thayer, newly inserted defensive tackle, forced that fumble. but it's Lyons that picked it up and was taking advantage. Fine play by Spencer Lyons, the third-year varsity player and running back.
Yeah, major heads-up play, too. Instead of just falling on it, he picked it up and was able to make a positive play out of it.
Lyons 6'3", 215. Big fella back there. Play action. This is Skylar Hunter, who's checked in at quarterback, and he's going to get stymied at the line of scrimmage. Cole Olston in on the tackle, along with DJ White, and that's a big stop against their two-quarterback system. Shut down pretty quickly there, well read.
Yeah, as you can see, it was a read option. He was able to fake the handoff and get to the outside, and great defense there by number 2, Cameron Everett, coming up to close.
No doubt. Second down and long for Catholic Central. Lions will stay in there. We'll check on Hager. Keep an eye on Hager. Stick told you. That ankle checked him out of the game. Low snap. They've had trouble with snaps and quarterback catches on that. Fine throw is dropped at the 25-yard line. And that's a fine throw here, and one that CC's going to have to make to help this young quarterback out.
Big tight end
Dwayne Johnson on the drop.
They got some great names on CC. Bo Jackson, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I mean, they're coming out here with an all-star lineup.
Ballers.
But yeah, that was a nice throw on the run for Bo Jackson. Pretty much on target, a little bit behind, but that's a catch you got to make.
Bo Jackson entered the year passing the football 24 of 56 for 434. There's a screen set up left side. It's Hager. Has some running room. Has a broken tackle, but can't break a second. But it's enough for a first down to the 22-yard line. And it's a gain of 16 yards. Move the chains for Catholic Central. Well-designed play.
The perfect call at the perfect time. Orchard Lake St. Mary's with the middle blitz. You call the screen. All the linebackers are already up the field. Just dump it over their head. Easy first down for Catholic Central. Great call by their coach.
Offensive coordinator Kevin Glenn under 6-year head coach Dan Anderson. Dan Anderson and Jermaine Gonzalez born at the same hospital in Pontiac, Michigan. Throw right side, it's Blakita. Blakita gets inside the 20 before he's tackled by Zane Nesson, the silent assassin, going sideline to sideline. And getting the ever slippery Brady Blakita, who also plays baseball and is pretty darn good at it.
Yeah, you could tell he's just one of those pure athletes that you see, but this is a nice tackle in space, even to slow him up right there so the middle pursuit can come. Because if you don't turn him back inside, number 5 is not able to make that tackle.
No, sir. Nesson with a tackle. Talked to his father, Dean, before the game. He's a former Eastern Michigan Eagle. He was a part of their glory years and MAC championship team. 85 to 90. Played under Harkema and part of that 87 MAC championship club for the Hurons. 2nd and 5. Jackson out of the gun. Hands off. Hager, nowhere to go. Stood up. Janda over there, amongst others for the Eaglets on the defensive line. A defensive line that's been shook up by Dan Giesling, the first-year defensive coordinator. He really likes the freshman, though, Jack Janda, the guy that he thinks can be a Power 5 end.
Yeah, and he's proven it today. I mean, he's already made some impact plays and controlling his end and just doing a good job of containing, not doing too much. It's a big third down in this game.
3rd and mid with 8:08 to go. Bo Jackson with time, looking out route, got a man caught, wrapped up at the first down marker. Does he have enough? He does. Fine catch made by Brady Blakita. Move the chains. First down, Shamrocks.
And you can tell Bo Jackson has a strong arm. That is all the way across the field on an out route. Look at this. He hits the mark. Boom, right there. And great throw. If he's able to keep his balance, he may be able to turn that upfield and score potentially. Number 21 for Catholic Central.
Jaden Pyden, I apologize. It was not Brady Blakita.
21-12. It's tough.
Yep. Motion left to right. Double reverse, back to Blakita. Blakita's in trouble in the backfield, and down he goes. The freshman swallows him up on the Red Sea. That is Janda. the freshman.
That is not a freshman play. That is a senior play. That is an elevated next level play on a double reverse to not lose your contain and chase down the line. You see him at the top of the screen. He's holding contain. He waits for it, sheds his blocker, and just shuts down that play. That is not a freshman, Chad. I don't care what they tell me.
Loss of 3 on the play.
My goodness, what a play.
Really was. You're right. The awareness, the physical, and the mental showing off right there for who Dan Giesling says is a Power 5 defensive end, just a freshman. GC also features a freshman in their starting lineup. They're looking right side for DJ Lee, well covered by the other freshman who starts on this defense, A.J. Marks. Incomplete, 3rd and long for Catholic Central, who is in field goal range. They do have a kicker who they trust and who's been money this year, 5 out of 6.
Yeah, if his extra points are any indication, he's good from 50.
Yep.
Kid's got a leg on him.
Very rare that Catholic Central does not have a kicking game, and their special teams have been excellent this year. Bo Jackson in the gun, 3rd and 13 from the 16 of St. Mary's. Needs to get to the 3.
They ran a screen pass last time.
Looking downfield here, curl route, intercepted. Picked off, middle of the defense. Skylar Bonner. Skylar Bonner, the middle linebacker, having an all-Catholic type season, makes a big-time play here, Stick, getting back in that drop zone.
And you know, you can set a team up on offense just like you can on defense. Last time, 3rd and long, what did you do? You sent the blitz. They knew that that's the type of defense you like to play pressure. This time you drop back in zone. Bonner's right there to get the interception and take points away from Catholic Central, because right where you're talking, even if it's 4th down, they're putting 3 on the board most likely.
No doubt. Bonner playing with a heavy heart tonight. Lost his brother a few years back. Former Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglet alum himself. And he plays for him. Throw left side, double pass coming up. Antoine Thomas looking deep. It's caught! Wide open territory. Could go. Touchdown Eaglets. Chris Coates from Antoine Thomas. Number 1 can do it all. Layden's pass to Thomas, and Thomas double pass to Coates, who catches it for his first high school touchdown.
And you could tell something was up on this play when Thomas starts taking a step back behind the line of scrimmage. That gives him the eligibility to throw the ball down the field, and 31, just one running completely wide open. CC definitely bit on the little, looked like a bubble screen, ends up being a pass for a touchdown.
A little trickery, 85 yards.
Student section going wild.
Thomas to Coates, the double pass trickery on play number 1, and the Eaglets are doubling up the Shamrocks with 6:22 to go. We'll take a timeout. This is Gridiron Game Day from Orchard Lake. Shamrocks and Eaglets, a special Central Division on a Friday night.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to Gridiron Game Day, 14-7. A little trickery for St. Mary's. This is new school Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Jermaine Gonzalez has pumped in some new life and energy. The offense, Kevin Rogers, the offensive coordinator, dialing up a dirty one there on the first play.
Yeah, and it's got to be nice to have that kind of offensive freedom, too, as the OC for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They've always had the athletes. They've just tried to overpower people. This time, they're out-athleting people, and it's fun to watch.
And it was set up by a Skylar Bonner interception. Catholic Central was driving. They were having their way offensively. And St. Mary's, who had 0 takeaways through 5 weeks of high school football, entered last week with Brother Rice. They have 5 turnovers in the game, Today they have one. They were due, you could say, but plays have to be made still. Skylar Bonner having an amazing season, deservingly gets that pick.
Yeah, eventually the law of averages do even out, but yeah, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, we talked about the adjustment of learning a whole new offensive system. Learning a whole new defensive system is the same thing. Knowing what place to be in and when takes time, and it takes work, and it takes reps.
That's right. 4 wide receivers. Bo Jackson stays in. Evan Hager checks in. The pitch right side to Evan. The future Crimson Tide. Nick Saban couldn't get his hands on Hager. He's going to go baseball. Gain of 4. How about Evan Hager and his ties to Mooney? Their fathers played baseball together at Michigan. Greg Hager, the father of Evan, who was featured on our game day graphic, and Ryan Mooney's dad, Joe Mooney, the great Joe Mooney, played together at Michigan. How cool that is.
That's awesome.
Neither one is committed to Michigan. Hager's going to Alabama, and Ryan Mooney has not been offered by Michigan yet. But you just have to think that that's coming after he ran that 4.28 40. He's got a big play in this game. CC's got a big play here in this game. 3rd and 5 stick with 5:20 to go till halftime.
Yeah, on these 3rd and 5 plays, they've really been working those out routes, just a short intermediate, or they've gone to their tight end. So we'll see what CC can draw up here, because the momentum is definitely on Orchard Lake St. Mary's side right now.
A moment, you need leadership. CC lost 29 seniors from a year ago. That's a leadership play. That's a first down and a dime of a play call by Kevin Glenn. Play action, first down, move the chains, Catholic Central with a catch. And that is Andrew Kitchen, a very lightly used wide receiver with a clutch play.
But there's that out pattern. You see him kind of go out on a fake block, and then he releases, and an easy first down for Catholic Central. Good play call. Nice draw up. I like when coaches do that. Like, hey, we're going to pretend you're blocking, then all of a sudden you're going to go out on a route.
It's the first catch of the year for Kitchen. So, things are warming up in the kitchen. Skylar Hunter into the game. Ball loose on the deck, and St. Mary says they have it, and they do. Sometimes the Red Sea coughs up a pill, and it looks brown, and you got to swallow it. St. Mary's has 2 turnovers forced tonight, and they get the football back again after CC was driving in St. Mary's territory stick.
Yeah, and if you're Catholic Central, you're going to start getting frustrated because you've been doing what you want on offense. You've been picking up first downs, but turnovers are the difference in big ball games, and St. Mary's leading the turnover battle right now 2-0.
Cole Olston with a recovery. The guy who's found a home back at St. Mary's after transferring to Detroit King. Catch right side, that's Ryan Mooney. That's his 3rd catch of the game. And that was an awkward landing for Mooney, who gets up a little slow. That was a scary one. Fine stop out there in space by Catholic Central with a stop defensively.
Yeah, Mooney's left leg, a little bit of an odd twitch to it, but he's staying on the field. He looks good, ready to go. Play on.
Lakita with the tackle, so a gain of 5 for Mooney. Layden hands off, left side, Goike cuts back inside the numbers, has a first down before he's buried at the 45.
Around the left side, number 20.
The rushing totals in this game, Catholic Central has 44 yards on 17 carries. St. Mary's just 18 yards on 6 carries.
Jaden Payton coming in and laying the wood at the end of this play, too. Big hit by 21 from CC.
Get them low, clean them off high, right?
Number
into the ball game for St. Mary's is number 32. That's Rollins. Armand Rollins, the senior running back, the bigger back, 5'9", 215. And he carries for a healthy game. Talk to James Gonzalez, your buddy, Booby, before the ball game, assistant coach. Jermaine's younger brother, the running backs coach. And he wants to use a lot of different guys at that running back spot.
Yeah, and you could tell, I mean, with this up-tempo offense, it's partially to wear down the defense. And if you keep that platoon coming in at running back and you always got fresh legs, eventually it'll hurt the defense.
3 wide receivers, the freshman Janda, the H-back. Layden keeps it on a busted play, and is near the first down marker. This looks like a broken play stick, and this is something St. Mary's and Jermaine Gonzalez has challenged Layden to do. Run the football, be aggressive, be assertive. Don't be afraid to use your legs and take off and make a play.
Well, you look at him on the field, he's a thick kid, so you know he could take the hit and deliver the punishment.
5'11", 220 for Layden, the senior. 1st and 10 with 3 minutes left until halftime. Looking right, got a man caught and dropped. That's a great defensive play by a guy that's stick featured in the open as an impact player. That's Cameron Lloyd coming up and knocking that ball out. That's a fine play by the valiant blue in Peerless White.
Yeah, great defense, but it looked like Mooney was trying to run with it just a little bit before he caught it. If you watch this replay here, you're going to see him turn his body right before he catches it. Turns, see, just a little bit too soon.
Yep.
Catch the ball, then run. It's so enticing to do the opposite.
From the left hash, Layden with his team up a touchdown. Going to try the right side, has some room. Has a first down. It's Chris Coates who scored that touchdown of 85 yards, staying hot, the sophomore with a first down run. And the Eaglets move the chains.
And St. Mary's youth is showing up today, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but you're seeing it there. I mean, a touchdown on the last one, and then a nice kind of off-tackle play here for a big first down.
Fine blocking up front, too, by the Eaglets on that right side, led by Victor Giller, Gabe Thayer. Catch made this time by Zane Wilson, his second catch of the game. Wilson was down on injury earlier this year, started the season at safety.
The pace of Orchard Lake St. Mary's offense is exhausting up here. I can't even imagine being on the field. But this is what they want to do. They want to wear on you.
Check in Trey Goike, the sophomore, play action. Layden over the middle, too tall. They were looking deep for Duke Coates. He got a hand on it. And Layden says, yep, that's where I wanted to put it. Couldn't come up with it.
Well, you can tell Layden has gained some confidence because it takes confidence to try to make that throw, almost in triple coverage. But if you put that in the right spot, that's a good completion up the seam. Power set for St. Mary's here.
Layden 5 of 9 for 60 yards. Thomas 1 of 1 for 85. Up the middle, burst for Zane Nesson. Nesson to the 12. That's his first carry since week 2 against Hudsonville. And look at that pent-up energy. The silent assassin, Zane Nesson, with a burst up the gut and a first down for St. Mary's. Gain of 15 on the play.
And they run that wing T offense on that play, too. A little throwback action for Orchard Lake.
A little GP throwback, perhaps. Janda, the H-back. Blocks for Trey Goike, who stood up and taken down quickly.
Short game with that carry.
Tackle made by Zion Tinnen. Timeout with 87 seconds left. We'll take a timeout with them. We're back in 30 seconds to Molesky Field. We are the Prep. This is Gridiron Game Day.
Hey, let's not forget
Want to thank our friends at Success Mortgage Partners. In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to give you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by a real professional. Call Todd Barr, 734-674-6154, and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners. We thank Success Mortgage Partners and Vince and Christina Lee.
St. Mary's dodged a bullet on that play. Almost picked off by Catholic Central. That would have been a huge interception. You see Layden going for the slant.
Oof. I'll tell you what, defensively tonight, a guy that didn't even start, Jaden Pyden, has been very active and maybe their best defender tonight. So a good sign for CC. Layden back in there on a 3rd and 10. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Antoine Thomas, watch him at the bottom of your screen for St. Mary's. Throw right side. Rollins to the 5 and out of bounds. So a decision to be made now for Kevin Rogers and Jermaine Gonzalez, as that'll be marked about the 4-yard line. St. Mary's does trust the short kicking game, but it will be a 4th and 1. So you can still get a first down without the touchdown.
Looks like they're sending out the kicking team.
And here comes the field goal unit. So this will be an attempt coming from Jenner Lieb.
The anti-Dan Campbell call, kicking the field goal, taking the points.
Yep, that's right.
It's 4th and 1, you know, he's going for it.
Oh, yeah. Jack Bardis will hold it. Jack Chudler will snap it, the all-Jack team there. It'll be a 21-yard attempt from the right hash for Jenner Lieb, the senior. And we got a flag delay game. I don't think that's going to bother Jermaine Gonzalez or change his decision. Maybe a better angle for Mr. Lieb.
That may have been by design.
Yep. The last time St. Mary's beat Catholic Central was on a Tommy Doman field goal. The current Michigan Wolverine punter, or reserve punter, waiting in the wings. So Lieb now to attempt a 27-yard field goal. Try to add to the St. Mary's lead, and it is wide left, no good. So we sit at 14-7, missed field goal, and perhaps new life into CC as they get a chance to drive again in what's been a very good offensive game for them, but just not a whole lot to show for it.
Yeah, we were talking about the angle when you're that close and how tough it is, and that's all he did. He kind of overcompensated for the angle, pulled it left. Good coaching right here by St. Mary's, trying to get his head back in the game because they may need him down the road to kick a big field goal. Coach Todd Bardis coaching them up as well. But yeah, this is a big spot for CC right now. They left the door open, 1:16 left in the half. The half is far from over. We've seen Bo Jackson has a big arm, so CC is always in scoring distance when they have the ball on the field.
Catholic Central 29 plays for 111 yards. St. Mary's 24 plays for 214 yards. Pass over the middle, post route is knocked away. And that is Duke Coates with fine man-to-man coverage, working on DJ Lee. Incomplete.
It was about as tight a coverage as you can get without a penalty flag. He was draped all over him. We'll see if he was able to do it before the pass got there.
Jackson threw a fine ball.
It's close. Yeah, Jackson has a great arm, and it's all over the field. It's not just the short passes, the long passes, the post routes, the seam routes. He has every trick in his tool bag.
It's been impressive tonight. Guy who's thrown for 200 yards in a game this year. Little RPO, handoff left side. Spencer Lyons is going to gain about 10 yards. And with 60 seconds left until halftime and 2 timeouts remaining for CC, they get some confidence on the ground here.
And a host of other errors. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Spencer Lyons on the year has been no slouch. He's carried the load for 300 yards on the year, 3 touchdowns. He has had fumble problems, 3 fumbles on the year. And that's been a bit of a bugaboo for him. But with him out of the game, with Hager out of the game and Lyons in, you have to wonder about the health of Evan Hager. A guy that's had some explosive runs tonight, Stick, but also looked a little gimpy and maybe re-injuring that ankle.
Yeah, well, you can't question his toughness, you know, playing a game on Sunday, then coming back on Friday night against one of your rivals to play. And he had a great first quarter, but you could slowly start to see the ankle starting to get a little more sensitive and a little more sensitive. And once halftime comes and you rest and it starts to stiffen up, it gets a little worse. So we'll see throughout the rest of the game if he gets back on the field.
There you see it, the Eaglets 2-4 on the year. Division 4, though, and they've got enough points right now to get in the playoffs, they feel, with a win in the next 3 games. Gonzalez, Jermaine, in his first year, former All-American, 3-year starter here at quarterback, 8-time state champion, St. Mary's. And Allen Robinson, an alum they're quite proud of here, and they should be. Signed a $45.5 million contract. back on St. Patty's Day and got really lucky. He didn't need luck. 3-year. Big deal for him. Congratulations. Proud son of Orchard Lake. Out route is caught by Blakita. That's near the first down marker. They will not stop the clock for it.
And Blakita gets up holding his hip. He came down relatively hard on that. I think he'll be fine, but it was one of those, he came down hard and a little shock. But yeah, Allen Robinson for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, KJ Hamler, Van Jefferson, all in the NFL as wide receivers.
Jefferson and
Number 8 back to pass.
Pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted. Gedrich had to come back and play some defense. And makes the best, one of the better defensive plays of the night, knocking that interception away from the Eaglets and Mr. Coates.
Yeah, you stole the words right out of my mouth. He went from offense, saw the ball in the air, was like, oh, better switch to the defensive side of the ball because St. Mary's was in great position to pick this off. Underthrown, inside, great over-the-top defense. Offense, defense, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Offense turned defense. 3rd and 1 now. Timeout with 13 seconds left. And look, this is an opportunity for these teams to go into the break, talk things over, regroup. If you're Catholic Central, you've played this game already. You've gotten sort of through the, all right, the bumps and bruises, still we can feel them. It happened on Sunday, but look, we're kind of in game mode now. They've had some success in this first half. Score here would be important. Doesn't look like they're too anxious to try to get down the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't be focusing too much on the scoreboard right now. I'd be focusing on, hey, if it wasn't for a big trick play from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, this is pretty much a tie ball game. We're in this game. We're physical. We know we can pick up first downs. We just got to control our turnovers. And for St. Mary's, it's, hey, we've been giving them bend but don't break. And as soon as they get into our zone, we're able to force a couple turnovers. So it's been a great first half for both teams. I don't think they're going into the locker room, either of them, feeling salty.
No, sir. Catholic Central with a huge win over Davison, 44-34 in week 2. Also a big win in overtime against DeWitt the week after that. Nice win against Brother Rice, their rival. Their only loss going into last week against De La Salle was week 1 against Chippewa Valley, a team that's ranked in the top 5 in the state. And CC lost 20-16 in that opening game, so folks thought, oh, well, okay, they lost that game. But, Stick, that was a good loss, and a good loss to De La Salle, although it was 28-0. It wasn't what you expected from CC, but we've seen tonight that the real CC is still alive and well.
Yeah, definitely. And it was one of those things, too, where they get healthy before the playoffs, because that's really all that matters. Once you get in, you want to be healthy, you want to be ready to go. Use all this regular season experience as something to learn on into the playoffs, and CC has all the potential to make a deep run.
Get a look at Dan Anderson, the 6th-year head coach, and he says, look, you know, we're finding our leaders, finding our guys, feels good about this team, likes the guys, says they're a bunch of goofballs. Call them cornballs. And they make a list of the biggest goofballs on the team. He says, I love going to practice with these guys. They're a fun group to go to practice with. Some teams you like, teams you love going to practice with, and he really likes this team. As we've got a timeout on the field after that first down.
Well, and to your point, you could tell that during their pregame warm-ups. They're out here, they're hooting, they're hollering, they're having fun with each other, they're yelling at each other, they're screaming. Like, you could tell they're definitely a team. Definitely a team for Catholic Central this year. And usually when you have that type of bond, it leads to success.
Sure does. And look, St. Mary's on the other side also having a new fun era injected in them, and Jermaine Gonzalez in his era. Jermaine has said, look, we're going to have fun. We want guys to love football. He's gotten guys in the school like Ryan Mooney to come out. Hey, you play baseball? Why don't you try football? Okay.
He runs when you run a 4.2. If it was me, he wasn't going to be, hey, you know, why don't you play? You run a 5.4.
Yeah.
No, but that's awesome.
Guys want to play for Jermaine Gonzalez.
And
he pulls his kid
important.
off the weight rack, the center. You know, Zorab Badarian. Power lifter. So, I mean, he's getting guys from everywhere. Guys want to play here, an exciting new brand of football. Bo Jackson looking left, looking deep, got a man. DJ Lee caught inside the 20 with 3 seconds to go. That was a dime. Lee hung on, took a blow, and CC's not done yet in this half.
Well, they dialed up the old Madden play, 4 verticals, just ran 4 guys down the field and launched it. Mooney lay in the wood at the end of the hit, but that was after the completion, and now CC's got a chance. What do? Do they kick the field goal? Do they take the points, or do you try to take a shot at the end zone?
I'll tell you what a fine throw by Bo Jackson, who's now 9 of 16 in this game for a $115. And that was a beautiful toss. Pitch and catch that time, 39 yards. So 3 seconds left, a chance for CC, who does have a kicking game. And they've got a kicker that they trust. 5 of 6 on the year for the kicker Madigan. 4 of 5 on the year. And he's kicked a 40-yarder already. Get a look at Jermaine Gonzalez, the fine first-year head coach, native of Pontiac, Michigan. Orchard Lake and Pontiac, it's an extension. They're together, they're one. Gonzalez proud of his Pontiac heritage. He was born in the same hospital as Dan Anderson, the head coach. But Jermaine is one of the great guys, and he's the right guy here at St. Mary's. So here comes the field goal attempt from the left hash. And the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide left, no good. Jake Madigan misses for just the second time this year. And after both kickers miss field goals, miss opportunities, no scoring here in this final late stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's a big missed field goal for CC because you can go into halftime up, only down 4, but you're feeling good because you just put some points on the board. Now, St. Mary's kind of breathing a sigh of relief because you let them off the hook for their missed field goal.
All right. We've got a timeout. We'll come back. We'll step aside for just a moment. We'll talk to the head coach of St. Mary's, Jermaine Gonzalez, in just a moment. This is Gridiron Game Day.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Lexi Ayala here with Detroit Catholic Central head coach Dan Anderson. Coach, tell me what you want to adjust and what's the message going into the half?
Oh, the message is it's a Central Division football game. We're in a battle, and we knew it coming in. They had 2 big plays that scored touchdowns. We got to put together a drive. We got to play good defense and, do what it takes.
Is there any adjustment more on the offensive end or the defensive end?
We got to adjust on both ends. Second half, it's going to be a battle, so we got to get ready for it.
Well, you knew it would, Coach. All right. Good luck second half. Appreciate it.
Club president, Michelle.
All right, thanks so much. That's Lexi Ayala, 14-7 at the break. We take a look at the numbers for both these clubs. St. Mary's with a 151-yard of total offense, passing the football, 115 for Catholic Central, 214 to 174. Pretty even, but the 2 big plays, obviously, the big part of this game. Ryan Mooney early to set up the touchdown, and then the long 85-yard touchdown double pass for the Eaglets as well.
Yeah, it's been nothing but big plays on both sides of the ball, because to set up Catholic Central's only touchdown, you can't forget about that 74-yard kickoff return that put them in position for that. So big plays on both sides. Other than that, in between those big plays, it's been a pretty even game. Both these teams are pretty evenly matched up, and we're in for a treat in the second half here at the homecoming for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Stick will have scores from around the league and much, much more coming up at the break. 14-7, St. Mary's over CC. Lots more to come. This is Gridiron Game Day.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
They say that this is a game of inches, but I disagree. This is a game of desire and will. 4 quarters of epic drama that plays out in real time right before our very eyes. And every season begins the same way, with a desire to win. Those with the will to put in the effort and time put themselves in the best position to achieve their desire. This is why we go to work early and come home late. Why we go so hard and why we put in all these hours. Because we have a desire to be great and the will to become everything we dreamed of and more. So when the drama's thick and it comes down to just those few precious inches, we have no doubt what the outcome will be. Because we have the will to outwork anyone to get what we desire. It doesn't matter if it's inches or 100 yards. We want it more, and we're going to take it. That's game.
Welcome back to the Prep Gridiron Game Day. Orchard Lake St. Mary's 14, Catholic Central 7 at homecoming here at Orchard Lake. Great ball game going on tonight, but 2 weeks ago, Northville and Brighton, the Prep was there, and this is how that game played out. Them on the board, up 7-0. You're seeing quarterback Luca Pryor, and a nice pitch right there to Rodriguez, all the way down the sideline. Kind of a broken play, but they were able to turn it in to a good touchdown. And then Brighton responded right up the middle, matching number 17 quarterbacks. But here you go, Brighton quarterback punching it in. Colin McKernan with the straight run in. Then not to be outdone, Northville on the way back, Caleb Moore. And this is when they started using their size. The big men started to get it going up front. At that point, it was Northville 14, Brighton 7, and Brighton ties it up on this run right here by Carson Schrader. Nice, able to get the edge down the corner and able to get in for the touchdown. Nice little celebration. And here it is, man. Big number 44. Not only is he quote-unquote one of the best kickers in the state, but he loves to stop the run. That is Braden Childs, and what a huge kick. And then obviously blocking it at the end. And you know what? We talked about it a little bit. Special teams won the second half and won this game. There was a muff punt. There was a big stop on 4th down. And then, of course, a field goal and a blocked field goal.
It was very exciting to be the first class. It's just really empowering, and I feel very blessed.
Walking around this campus and getting to see Orchard Lake, no other school gets to see that.
The way my relationship with all my friends has grown is crazy. It's almost like a sisterhood, just how like the guy said a brotherhood. I think we have an amazing sisterhood.
To be these women of St. Mary's is to be the first woman or person to do anything. You're making a legacy just by being here, going to school. That's not really a thing that everybody gets to experience. You're starting something new.
In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive a level 10 experience, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by the real professionals. Call Todd Barr today at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners supports Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLSID 130562. This is informational only and not an offer of credit or commitment to lend. Contact Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated to learn more about your eligibility for the mortgage products. Welcome back to Gridiron Game Day on the Prep. We got some scores from around the league and around the state happening right now for the MHSAA. Birmingham Seaholm over Berkeley at halftime, 35-0. Davison with a commanding lead over Flint Carmen Ainsworth, 44-6. Dakota only up 7 over Ike, 14-7 at halftime. And Chippewa Valley with a 3-point lead over Romeo, 3-0. That game is in the first quarter. We are live at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It is homecoming night for the Eaglets, and the Eaglets have a 14-7 lead over Catholic Central from Monsignor Molesky Field. We'll be right back to get you up to date on how we got to 14-7 right here on the Prep.
St. Mary's is a place where boys come to find their place in the world. It's not just a place where we learn what to think, it's a place where we learn how to think. Education of the mind can be found almost anywhere. Education of the soul is what I've been taught at St. Mary's. So, if you think you're ready to be a part of our tradition rooted in success, come see for yourself how St. Mary's is more than just a school.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
We begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Homecoming night at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. We are live. St. Mary's is up 14-7 over Catholic Central. You're seeing some of the halftime festivities going on right now. Let's get you caught up on how we got to this 14-7 score. Bunch of big plays happening the entire game here. And we will get you caught up right now as you see Catholic Central storming back on the field. Game started off with Orchard Lake St. Mary's, a play-action pass, deep pass to number 0, Ryan Mooney, all the way down the sideline to about the 2-yard line. And then Orchard Lake St. Mary's able to punch it in with number 5, Zane Nesson, for the touchdown. And then we're looking here at the biggest kickoff return of the game, number 74-yard return for number 12, Blake Blakita. That set up Catholic Central for this easy touchdown for number 2, Evan Hager, who has since gone out of the game with an injury, but we'll check to see if he's back. Then Orchard Lake St. Mary's putting the pressure on the deep.
Make sure her mic's down.
And then Bo Jackson with the interception to number 10 right there for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, putting St. Mary's back in the position. And this is where the big play happened. A reverse pass almost. Antoine Thomas throws it all the way down the field to Chris Coates, who runs away with the touchdown. And Coates later on would also have another big play in the drive. But CC was responding here until a big fumble in the middle of the field. Orchard Lake able to recover. But right before the half, CC was able to strike a big, long 34-yard pass to big number 83, putting them in field goal range. Unfortunately for Catholic Central, they missed the field goal, and that leaves us here with a 14-7 game at Orchard Lake St. Mary's Monsignor Molesky Field on homecoming night. My name is Stick, along with Chad Bush, and we are live right now with Lexi Ayala on the sidelines.
Lexi Ayala here with OSM head coach Jermaine Gonzalez. Coach, please take me through the play of the game this far, laid in to Thomas for the 85-yarder double pass. Coach's first touchdown of the season.
We got a big turnover. You know, obviously we wanted to get some momentum and keep it, so we wanted to take a shot there. And you know, Kevin made a great call to come out with that play we've been working on all week. So it was successful for us. So, but now we gotta keep scoring and getting the ball in the end zone. So,
what was the message to the team at the half?
We got to sacrifice. We got to sacrifice, and we got to outlast. We know that's a well-coached team that's not going to give up or quit. We got to do our part. We got to fight for 2 quarters.
Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck second half.
Know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Welcome back to 50-degree cool Friday evening, 7th week of this high school season. Orchard Lake St. Mary's leading Detroit Catholic Central 14-7 right now. Chad Bush alongside the birthday boy Sam Stick. Day private party afterwards.
That's right.
It's
public
someplace.
Party.
No, it's at a place that I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say where it's at, but this VIP list that you told me about is pretty exciting. There's some VIPs out there today for both these teams making plays. You talked about the excitement. Jermaine Gonzalez talked about it from Thomas and that toss. Catholic Central's had some big plays. What are you looking for in the second half? Is things going to settle down, or are we still going to see some bombs away?
Yeah, it's going to be bombs away. I mean, you heard Jermaine Gonzalez said it's all about sacrifice. They know they're looking across the field at a team that's well coached, and they are not going to quit anytime soon. So expect a lot more of the same that we saw in the first half, and expect big plays and special teams to play a big part in the outcome of this game. Because, like we said, both these teams straight up pretty even. So those big plays and special team plays going to be a big thing here in the second half.
Yes, sir. Scores from around the area. Stick already told you about some competitive
there's some
ones.
updates.
Some updates. Clarkston 21, Lake Orion 14. Dakota 7, Ike 7. It's in the second quarter. Farmington 7, Ferndale nothing. Fordson nothing. Franklin nothing. That's at halftime. That's a surprise. Franklin certainly favored in that game over Fordson. Orchard Lake St. Mary's up next will take on Oak Park next week. That'll be a game here. We will not have that on the prep. Catholic Central, meanwhile, next week will travel to Cincinnati, and they will take on Cincinnati LaSalle down there. We will not have coverage of that either, unfortunately. Love the Natty, but no Ohio chili. No Giannopolis ribs. We're going to stay right here for the PSL championships next week. We'll
Coney
have
dogs, baby.
That's right. We're going Conies. So, St. Mary's Catholic Central, and look, St. Mary's is going to get the football to start this second half. Layden has played with a little bit more desperation in this game. He did split some time at quarterback the last couple of weeks, igniting some fire into him. Before that Brother Rice game, he's responded with some fine plays. Better yet, he's avoided throwing an interception, although he came close a couple of times. That's going to be an important part, winning the turnover battle. St. Mary's +2 right now in that category.
And that's the only reason Orchard Lake St. Mary's has the lead right now, because on both of those drives that Catholic Central turned over the ball, it was in plus territory, and they were marching. So St. Mary's has relied on those turnovers, and they've also relied on taking care of the ball, and it's led them to this lead. So if they keep that up, it should be a good second half for them.
No doubt. Jackson, 9 of 16 in the first half for 115 yards, 1 interception. Meanwhile, Layden, 6 of 11 for 66 yards. Thomas, 1 of 1 for 85. Of course, that double pass with a touchdown, but no turnovers for Layden. That's the point. Both kickers have missed field goals. So, Catholic Central to kick it off. The Shamrocks looking for their 5th win and their 4th straight in the series. Orchard Lake St. Mary's trying to win 2 straight for the first time this year under first-year head coach Jermaine Gonzalez. Both offenses trying to find their identity stick. Maybe they've done that in the first half, but the second half could certainly prove some of those gains in the first.
Yeah, and you've seen it. You see a very methodical offense. They're looking to pick up 5-10 yards at a time and wear you down. St. Mary's is looking to keep that up-tempo and wear you down that way. So it's been a fun matchup between these two teams, and it's complemented each other.
32 teams make it into the playoffs. St. Mary's, if the season ended today, would be 17th. Grand Rapids South Christian, the number 1 team right now, point-wise. Marks on the return gets up to the 21-yard line before he's spilled.
Number 21, Marks, with the return.
Tackled on the play by number 17 in there, and that's Jack Wilkinson. So here comes the St. Mary's offense, their first drive of the second half under Braden Layden. Zane Nesson out to come be the featured running back to the left of him.
Starting out 4 wide, and I'm really interested to see what Jermaine Gonzalez has drawn up for these first series coming out.
4 wide receivers, as my partner mentioned. Nesson, healthy. That shoulder was bothering him for a while. Two-way starter to start the season. Look, this is a 3-4 running back rotation. James Gonzalez talked about it. We want to give different looks, but in this kind of offense, maybe not as much of the pass, but these running backs get dinged up a bit. They get a lot of usage.
Yeah, definitely. And if you can keep them fresh like we were talking about with the up-tempo, it definitely helps you.
Nesson stays in. They'll call it a gain of 2. Gets the carry right side, drags a couple defenders. Tackle down there. And the first guy in defensively for Catholic Central is the defensive tackle. And that's Aiden Lemieux, the senior at 6'2", 240. So now Goike will check in at running back on a 3rd and 3.
St. Mary's coming out with 2 runs up the middle. So Jermaine Gonzalez, I'm assuming, saw something up the middle that they thought they could exploit early in the second half. And it's led to a short 3rd down here. We'll see if they can pick it up.
St. Mary's 14 carries for 70 yards. In trouble, Layden looking downfield, throws it up and throws it away. Intercepted. Intercepted at the 46. And a late flag after Josh Rude was rude and threw the ball in the St. Mary's offensive player's face. But it's a CC takeaway after a throw that Layden probably wants back.
Yeah, definitely. He was under pressure. He tried to force the ball in there, and there you see number 16 standing over the opponent, then throwing the ball at him. That'll get you 15 yards, but I don't think the coach, coach is going to say, hey, don't do that, but he's also going to say, nice interception, too. Do it after a big interception.
Yes. Layden was, they're going to call it.
No,
I think a mistake.
He pointed the wrong way.
Yep.
There it is.
It was a long halftime. So that will back CC up, but the point was made. Rude with a pick. They were looking for Jack Bardis And Layden under pressure, he's rolled the dice a few times, and sometimes you crap out.
Well, that's what we were just talking about at halftime. You got to protect the ball, and that's what gave Orchard Lake St. Mary's a couple extra possessions, was able to get them up 14-7. So now we're going to see if CC can take advantage of the turnover.
It's a CC offense that was shut out against De La Salle. It was the first time they've been shut out since 2019. And got on the board in this game with a short field after Blakita set him up inside the 20. So here comes the CC offense under Bo Jackson, B-E-A-U Jackson. It's been a 2-quarterback sophomore system, but he has only given way to just a few snaps to his counterpart, Skylar Hunter.
I wonder what the officials are discussing right now.
I can't imagine.
The only thing I could assume is maybe an ejection, if that was enough, because if you throw a ball at a player, I don't know. But they're talking about something. It can't be the 15 yards. That's established. We know what that is.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm like, yeah, he threw it right at him. Hit him right in the face. All right, go tell the coach.
Wait. They are going to say it's offsetting.
An offsetting penalty, okay.
So I guess they had it right originally. They changed their mind or got talked into calling it exclusively on Rude, and then they changed it. Okay, all right, here we go.
Play on. Boys will be boys. Let's play football.
I guess. Fair enough. Let's just make a decision and move on. 10:44 to go, just underway. Turnover Catholic Central forced. The pick by Rude in midfield. As the Shamrocks looking to even it up. Handoff left side, and Hager is going to get tackled for a loss. And that's hot pursuit coming from that backside. And a fine play for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And that's Anthony Kafoulis, the defensive end, who's been quiet today, but he's not unfamiliar to TFLs.
No, and St. Mary's, you got to hand it to their defensive end so far. In the first half, they've been able to contain really well a couple of those negative loss plays. And we'll see. CC has had a lot of success on those slant and out patterns. We'll see if they can get one here to get them back in down and distance.
Kafoulis, a commit to Penn, University of Penn, the Quakers. He's a baseballer, left-handed pitcher. Throw right side, it's Blakita, open space on the Red Sea, and he's up near a first down. It was second and forever, and now it's third and close with just under 10 to go in the third quarter. CC on the move again.
What a luxury it is to have a Blakita on your team, right? You know, you get caught in second and long. This pass is only, it literally was at the line of scrimmage, and he makes the rest happen by making people miss. That is an athlete. You get him in space, and you let him work.
That's Blakita's third catch tonight. Sorry, partner.
I was going to say, sometimes the best coaching is just get it to your best guy, let him work.
A lot of energy. Had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter and a half against their rival Brother Rice. Ball's loose on the deck. Still loose. Picked up by Catholic Central all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. A savvy, heady play by Cale Rogowski, the sophomore. But hot pursuit by St. Mary's. And the Eaglets have them backed all the way up, and what was a third and short is fourth and forever.
Yeah, that was a 6-yard loss on the fumble recovery. But that forces a fourth down and kind of takes the going for it out of the question here, unless you want to do a fake punt, because this is a good area on the field if you're going to do that.
Skylar Bonner with a forced fumble. We told you Lions has had fumbleitis all season long, and it's a problem there.
Well,
so
he's just so tall and he runs upright. He gives you a great opportunity to swat at that ball.
That's right. So the punt's a good one. It takes Marks all the way back to his 6. Going to try the right side outside the numbers. Breaks a tackle, but not a second.
With the return.
Swallowed up by number 44, Kyle Ewing, the guy who punted the ball. Nice play. When you punt it and you go down and make a tackle less than a 10-yard gain, that's the kind of punter I want on my team.
Iron Man.
You're not kidding. So St. Mary's will take over. They get a stop. They force a fumble. They don't get the forced fumble, but hey, look, they're forcing turnovers, something they didn't do at all for 5 straight weeks. do you believe in like the odds evening out? Is that something you truly believe in is happening here?
I do believe in the law of averages, but I also believe in momentum too. Once you start understanding how to punch that ball out and it becomes second nature to you, then all of a sudden it's just part of your game, right? And that's what they've been doing.
Expected now.
Yeah, now they're just attacking the ball. They're learning how to do it.
Goike with the carry.
Goike carries for nothing. And now St. Mary's in a 2nd and 10 from their own 21. No scoring in this third quarter. And we got a false start on the outside by Wilson. Or Bartis, rather.
Yeah, a little flinch. Ref saw it, got him.
I've been that guy as a receiver, I can tell you. It's a lonely, lonely place and island to sit. You're a wide receiver. You should never, ever. You're supposed to be looking at the ball.
Look in at the ball.
Man, I'm not looking at that ball. I'm thinking about my route. I'm going to beat this guy. 2nd and 15. Play action. Layden scrambles, in trouble, and down he goes. He is sacked. The ball is loose.
Down.
He was down before the ball was out. The officials come in to make that play, but the sack and a big-time play. Corser was in on it, but JoJo Massey was the first guy to make some trouble in that backfield.
And that's twice so far in this half that he's tried to roll to his left and gotten in trouble with the pursuit coming in on the defensive line. Both times they've been able to force almost a turnover. Interception on the first one, fumble on that one almost.
3rd and 16.
So St. Mary's now in a 3rd and long. CC couldn't convert a 3rd and short. Can St. Mary's convert a 3rd and long? Handoff up the middle. It's Nesson. He bullets his way, but it's not enough for a first down. It's going to be 6 yards shy, and punting time now for St. Mary's. And a fine defensive hold for Catholic Central.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays where you're just trying to tack on an extra 10 yards to your punt, right? If you're able to get that draw and bust it up the middle and get the first down, that's great. But you know that play is at least going to get you some yardage, and really you're just playing the field position game at this point if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Lions with the first down saving tackle. They're coming after the punter. Jenner Lieb, this thing's going to hit at the 50, and the pitching wedge is going to drop down just near the mid-stripe. DJ White downs it at the 49. So, Catholic Central down a touchdown. Trying to tie this game. Trying to get themselves to 2-1 in the Central Division. Trying to get to 5 wins on the year. Take a look at Dan Anderson, the head coach, a guy who's been well-traveled. 23rd year at Catholic Central, was an assistant. He went to Archbishop Alter High School in Dayton. He went to University of Pittsburgh. He played with Tony Saragusa. Handoff right side. Hager breaks a tackle, but not a second. DJ White comes up and makes a stick. And Anderson was transferred as a child when he was 8 years old from Waterford, where he was living, down to Dayton, Ohio, where his father in General Motors took a job. Ironically, he would come back to Michigan because his wife, who worked for General Motors, was transferred to the Detroit area, and he found a home at Catholic Central. Was an offensive line starter at Pitt. Hager gets the carry right side, breaks one, but not two tackles again. DJ White with a wrap-up. It's enough, though, for a first down, move the chains. Anderson, one of the real good guys, and he learned under Tom Mack. He's carried on that tradition. He's changed some things offensively, bringing in Kevin Glenn, and still trying to find that offensive identity stick, but he's done a whale of a job, and he's carried a lot of the CC tradition over. And tip of the cap to Anderson for keeping it rolling for Shamrocks.
Yeah, and they have been staying on their game today. They're just staying at it. You wonder if they're going to try a trick play eventually, because this is what they've been doing. Up the middle run, slant pass, out route, and just slowly going up and down the field. They just haven't been able to cash in. So I'm wondering, is he a gambling man, and when will we see that? Because at some point, you got to try something to bust out.
Well, I think we both know this. Tom Mack and George Porritt were not gambling men. They were full house.
Play the game the right
double
way.
Tight, 3 yards.
Yep.
Anderson's maybe a hybrid.
Yep.
Right. He's not a gunslinger. not going to go for it on his 29, but he's certainly not as conservative as Tom Mack offensively. Throw left side, Blakita.
Pass outside to number 12.
And he's going to have a first down. It's hard to argue with Tom Mack's success. The 10 state titles he led Catholic Central to in his 40 years on Breakfast Drive and in Novi.
Same thing with George Port. It's tough to argue with that type of success, you know?
Sure is. Blakita staying hot tonight. Also plays a shortstop for Coach Rogowski and the baseball Shamrocks, team that we called on the prep at Comerica Park. CC on the move in the red zone. Play action. Looking left side. Pressure. End zone. Incomplete. Flag. No flag. Well covered down there. That was Cam Everett. And he was going at it and battling with Genrich. And that's a fine battle and no flag thrown fittingly, perhaps.
Yeah, you could tell the official was contemplating it. There was a little bit of delay, maybe a reach towards the pocket, but this is just good, clean football. A little bit of hand fighting going on, but it's going on both sides. And when the defender gets his head turned back around, you're usually let off the hook, right? If his head was never looking back at that ball, it's probably a pass interference call, but because you're trying to make a play on the ball, they'll give you the benefit of the doubt as well.
2 interceptions last week for Cam Everett and St. Mary's 15-7 win over Brother Rice. That hadn't happened in 10 years at Orchard Lake. He's had a lot of good defensive backs. CC will try the middle here.
Inside give to number 22.
Couple yards. Swallowed up by the Red Sea defenders.
With the short gain.
Lloyd gets the call there.
3rd and 8.
And 3rd and 8 coming up.
I feel like the CC time of possession is just adding up right now. Every time they have the ball, it just feels like they have it for a very long time.
JoJo Jordan Jones on the stop. 3rd and 8 from the 23. Handoff right side. Hager trying the corner. Has it across the 20 to the 19. He's short of the first down by about 4 yards, maybe 3.5. It's a decision for Dan Anderson. He is in field goal range from what his kicker has made before, but Hager may be missing a 5th gear in this game thanks to a bad wheel. Fine defensive play, though, by St. Mary's.
Yeah, Zane Nesson was able to stretch that out, and I thought Hager was going to be able to beat him to that corner. If he does, it's pretty much an easy first down for him. And even injured, you can see the burst that young man has. Very talented athlete.
Sure is. Zane Nesson, one of the fine linebackers in this league. Both teams with strong linebacking cores. CC is down one of their best in Beckler Hauser, who was injured last week against De La Salle, the 6', 200-pound senior. So 4th down, and we'll call it 4 from the 23-yard line. Big play for Catholic Central, maybe their biggest of the game. With 3:20 left, Bo Jackson in the shotgun. Hager to his right. The give to Hager up the middle, and he has enough for the first down. CC trusting the middle of that offensive line. And the big boys up front, led by that freshman, Benny Azuka, Tinnen, and Wurzbicki, making money in the middle.
And you got to love that coach. You got to love him trusting his best player. You know what? We're going to man up. We're going square to square with you. And we're going to pick up 4 yards on 4th down inside the red zone, or to get inside the red zone and maybe extend this drive for a touchdown.
Cal Rutherford with a pancake in there. A little extra butter and syrup on that, like a Sunday morning sausage.
Sounds good to me.
Uh-huh. You're worthy of a birthday breakfast. Left side trouble. Bo Jackson evades it and goes down eventually. It's going to be a tackle for loss of a ½ yard. It's Skylar Bonner, who's had a big day, already a pick, who's going to collect another TFL.
And the initial pressure put on by big number 99 coming up the middle. I love to see the big fellas eat like that. You see him just bust through, put pressure on the quarterback. Not enough, but it forces him to step up for Bonner to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
That's big JoJo. Jordan Jones, the sophomore, 5'9", 257. They really like him.
Good luck blocking him.
Some noise, fans.
2 minutes left. 2nd and 11. Jackson under pressure. Throws it right side. Caught, but immediately dropped. Makes it DJ White. DJ coming up from that defensive spot. Big play by the sophomore.
Yeah, Orchard Lake St. Mary's keeps bringing pressure and putting pressure on Bo Jackson, and that was a tough throw for him to make. And this is where, once again, you wonder if CC's going to counter, like, all right, St. Mary's is using a lot of pressure. Let's use that against them. Let them overrun this play. Maybe a little screen pass here on 3rd and long for them.
It was the Penn commit, Anthony Kafoulis, with the pressure. 3rd down and 11 for the Shamrocks.
3rd and 11, fans. Let's make some noise.
4 wide. Blakita wide right. Jackson in trouble. Scrambles, got a man. Incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Antoine Thomas had it in his hands and he dropped it.
Ooh, he wishes he had that one back. Once again, St. Mary's able to put a little bit of pressure on Bo Jackson. He rolls to his right, throws across his body. That's one of the no-nos when you're on the move and you're a quarterback. But my goodness, number 1 for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Almost had the 3rd turnover of the day, and so now we've got a field goal attempt.
That's a big stop for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, though, because once again, CC is having their way between the 20s.
It'll be a 32-yard attempt coming from the middle of the field from the kicker, Jake Madigan, who's already missed one tonight. Out of the hold of Skylar Hunter. And the kick is up and good. So with 1:41 to go, the first score of the second half goes by way of the Shamrocks, who cap off a drive with points.
And that's big. All points in this contest are big. But if you're Catholic Central, you got to start getting frustrated that you can't seem to put the ball into the end zone. I mean, you've been moving the ball at will on Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense. Just you keep getting bogged down when it comes time to score.
Mentally, though, it has to feel good to cross it and scratch that surface. And it was a drive that lasted 11 plays. And it only went 33 yards, but they soak up 4 minutes and 30 seconds of offense. You give your defense a chance to respond, and the field goal's up and good. It's a 33-yard field goal officially. Jake Madigan with 1:41 to go here in the 3rd.
Offense, we got to convert. Let's go.
We will be at the PSL's championship game next Friday night, a double dip. We'll have a 4 o'clock start. It'll be Detroit Central against Detroit Southeastern. And at 7 o'clock, the headliner, Detroit King against Detroit Cass Tech. We've already seen Cass Tech in week 1 stick against Southfield. You saw him in 2 parts.
I saw him twice.
I saw him in just 1 part. And then Detroit King, of course, the reigning champion in Division III.
It's always a great matchup when those 2 teams take the field. The pride of Detroit, both of them.
King 1 matchup number 1. Return here, Thomas across the 30 to the 32. Already has a touchdown pass tonight, the sophomore Antoine Thomas. And so here comes St. Mary's. Braden Layden and the Eaglets, who turned it over last time, and it turned into points. We'll see how this offensive series is called by first-year coordinator Kevin Air Raid Rogers.
Yeah, so far their first 2 possessions in the second half. One was an interception, the other one a fumble to fourth down, and then they had to punt from there. So yeah, St. Mary's needs to get it going on the offensive end.
Handoff up the middle. This is Trey Goike going nowhere in a hurry. It's a tackle for a loss. Check that, it was Armand Rollins. You look at Jermaine Gonzalez, the first-year head coach. He was the JV head coach from 07 to 2019. Former All-American here, quarterback, all-state football, basketball. Went to the University of Michigan. Also played football, basketball for the Wolverines, the Division I level. And a guy that can do some great things outside of coaching football. Mooney has it right side, bobbled but hangs on. It's his 4th catch tonight. And it sets up a 3rd down. We'll see that Gonzalez graphic again. And this is important. Plays the board game Monopoly frequently and allegedly dominates. His wife Stephanie says, look, this guy is a guy that you do not want to play against. Smokes the best barbecue ribs in northern Oakland County.
I will challenge Red any day to smoke ribs against me. Let's go, Red. What you got?
All right, 3rd and 3. Throw, bubble screen, A.J. Marks, and he dropped it. Oh, boy. Darryl Rounds was out there with a key block, and the freshman has a boo-boo, and it forces a punt. CC defense, stand up.
That was about to be a touchdown for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. If he's able to clear this block, which he's getting by his big fella, there is nobody standing in front of him. And with the speed that he has, he was going to turn that into a big play. But a nice big stop for Catholic Central. They have come out in this 3rd quarter and absolutely dominated Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They only have 3 points to show for it, but they've been dominating this 3rd quarter.
Yeah. So Jenner to punt it. And it's going to roll inside the 35 to the 32. And here comes Catholic Central with 15 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Looking to come from behind, trailing 14-10. They've won 3 straight in this series. CC last won in 2009. Their last state title.
15 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, CC.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's under new leadership after George Port's 35 years as head coach here. Port winning 7 of St. Mary's 8 state titles in school history. With his first one coming in 94 for the 95 graduating class. There's a run up the middle. And what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Number 2.
That was an impressive run.
Evan Hager.
That should have been for a loss or at least 0 yards. Hager's able to turn that into a 5-yard gain. Impressive.
A fine athlete, one of the best in the Catholic League. We'll take a timeout. 4 fingers in the air. Gridiron game day, week 7. Coming at you from Orchard Lake right after this.
St. Mary's is a place where boys come to find their place in the world. It's not just a place where we learn what to think. It's a place where we learn how to think. Education of the mind can be found almost anywhere. Education of the soul is what I've been taught at St. Mary's. So, if you think you're ready to be a part of our tradition rooted in success, come see for yourself how St. Mary's is more than just a school.
Welcome back to the Prep. I'm Lexi Ayala here with Chris Zarnick, Chief Development Officer at OLSM. I know you've had a lot of renovations going on lately. Tell me about them.
Well, it's kind of you to ask. It's been an exciting week. We just dedicated and blessed the Burkacki Academic Center yesterday, which is a new classroom building, 20 new classrooms. It's the first new classroom or the first new building on campus in a bit. And we like to talk about looking back at our tradition, but this is for the next 100 years, so it's been great.
And how's it been for student engagement to have all these new things coming in?
Yeah, it's very exciting when you see the new quad, which is named for Richard Trzynski, an alumnus, Clarence Constantakis prep building. It really builds a sense of pride with our current students, and I think inspires them to think about what's next. It certainly impacts, you spoke to Candace earlier, people come onto campus, they're so impressed with what we have to offer. But at its core, it's about the human beings they interact with, our faculty and staff, and it's also great for them because they get to walk into beautiful spaces and educate students. So.
And Chris, what are the fundraising opportunities that you put on to allow things like this to happen?
Yeah, traditionally we always have had a mixture of events. So Founders Day, we did a Polish Harvest Festival this past week. But it's also about connecting with alumni and trying to understand what's meaningful to them and then match that with the needs of the school. And when you do that, you can really do some transformational things.
Chris, speaking of alumni, that's a pretty cool hat you got going on.
Well, it's not as cool as the prep cap, or it may be. But yeah, it's the Motion M cap, and it's got a historical significance. And for alumni out there, they can get one by making a generous gift to the Alumni Annual Fund.
All right, well, you heard it from Chris himself. Thanks so much for being with us, Chris.
Thank you, Lexi.
Chad, back to you.
Thank you, Leslie, and thank you, Chris Zarnick. Appreciate his efforts, and Lexi doing a great job on the sideline as always. Chad Bush and Sam Stickday with you. CC driving 1st and 10 on the 43. Evan Hager getting loose into the secondary all the way up to the 30. Gain of 13, and Hager starting to get loose. And he now has 85 yards rushing in this game. And he's had some big games this year. This is one of them where he starts to take over.
Yeah, he's taken over this fourth quarter. They've handed the ball off to him 3 times in a row, the last 2 times for consecutive first downs. And this is when you see maybe they throw a little play action in or just keep handing it to the beast.
Weir's Bicky with a big block there. The CC line replacing some folks, including Ben Flake from last year. Handoff up the middle. Hager with more daylight. And the Shamrocks starting to wham it like the old Mac days, right up the gut. And this is an old country whooping right now by the offensive line, by the guys in the Valiant Blue and Peerless White.
Yeah, what do? You run the play till they stop it, and St. Mary's has not stopped this play on 3 consecutive times. Do you dial it up again? That's the question.
1st and 10 minutes left from the 20. It's Hager again off right tackle, dragging defenders, gain of 8. And this defense holding on for dear life, looking gassed. CC getting some wins up front.
Well, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense has pretty much been on the field this entire second half. You talked about that last drive, 11 plays, 5 minutes, and here they are back at it again.
Lions checks into the left for the quarterback, Bo Jackson, the sophomore, who's gone most of the way for Catholic Central. He split time this year. They got a cluster trips to the left. One to the right, Genrich. Handoff inside Lions, up the middle to the 5, inside to the 4-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Zane Nesson, but the Shamrocks are knocking on the door. Down just 4 with 9:15 to go in this game.
Yeah, now if you're St. Mary's, you're back on your heels. You've been punched up the gut 4 or 5 times in a row. You don't really know what to defend. You got 3 wide receivers down here and only 1 cornerback covering them. You may want to address that.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah, I'd say so, but they're getting gashed in the middle. There you go.
Jackson throws left side. Blakita into the end zone. Touchdown, Shamrocks. Brady Blakita from 5 yards out. And the Shamrocks have come back on a 10-0 run in Orchard Lake on the road.
And I'm not exactly sure if that was just a miscommunication on defense and even on Catholic Central if that was a designed play, because that just may have been an audible, hey, we got 3 receivers out there, you got 2 defenders, numbers are in our favor, and that, what did they do? A little bubble screen to a wide receiver for an easy touchdown. Walk it.
And the extra point is ill-timed. So the combination of Roberts, the snapper, and the holder out there, Skylar Hunter, they'll move this thing back. Replay the down, but how about CC's drive? Drive that ends with a Blakita touchdown. And I'll tell you what, Bo Jackson has looked more comfortable in this second half than he has all game.
CC's just looked comfortable. They have absolutely dominated this second half.
Jake Madigan on to try to make this a 3-point Catholic Central lead. They trailed 14-7 at the break. And the extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So with 8:52 to go in this ball game, Catholic Central has come back from down by a touchdown and take a 3-point lead. We're coming right back to Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Molesky Field for the Central Division rivalry. We're the prep. 4th quarter action coming right after this. There's the old school building, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That's the one that Stick and I attended. That's the old gym. And the beautiful campus here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's that has added that new school building, which you will see on the left of your screen. And what a scene it is here on campus. This beautiful lakeside property.
Nothing like it.
But CC has come in to the Red Sea here in the second half and taken over on a 10-0 run. That drive for Catholic Central, 8 plays, 68 yards. It took 3 minutes, 23 seconds. Brady Blakita on a 5-yard touchdown catch from Bo Jackson at the 8:52 mark of the fourth. We've got some scores to update you on. Wall Lake Western 28, Mott 14. That's in the third quarter. Livonia Franklin 15, Dearborn Fortson 14. Bedford 7, Saline nothing. Saline undefeated as the return is crunched. That is Nico Genrich, who has blast the return man Thomas, and that could be a helmet-to-helmet penalty. Dakota 28, Ike 7. Stevenson 10, Acre Bay 10. Novi 21, Howell 14. Romeo 6, Chippewa 3. That's at halftime. Thank you, Jam Jan and Nate the Skate, for all the stats and scores. Appreciate your help. Back to the action, the return, flag down. What's going on, Mr. Birthday Boy?
It looked like a little leading with the helmet on that hit. It was a nice big hit by number 7, but he led with his helmet, and that'll result in a 15-yard penalty. Official was all over it.
Nico Genrich. You get a look at Dave Soffren, the coach there in the blue coat, the former Brother Rice Warrior. He's a offensive assistant, standout at Brother Rice, former Brother Rice head coach before the Coach Adam Kornashevsky era began about 6 years ago. Soffren came over, committed that cardinal sin. He crossed over from Brother Rice to CC. Do you think you could ever cross over from St. Mary's to CC, your Brother Rice?
Depends on how the paycheck looks.
Oh, yes.
I can be bought.
I love your honesty. That's why you're up here. No judgment zone here.
You'll never take the eagle out of my blood, but you know.
Layden hitch right side to Mooney, guy who's caught fire late with some serious offers. Iowa offering last week. Boston College ran a 4.28 at a 7-on-7. Guy that said, I'm done with baseball last week, told Notre Dame, who offered him a full ride scholarship, I'm sorry, I'm done. And the footballers came a-calling. Here's Goike, who's had a quiet night. He needed 2. He gets 6. St. Mary's run game has not had much success since that first quarter stick. CC's defense run stoppage has been excellent.
Well, that time you saw him pull Darryl Rounds around as a pulling guard, and he was able to clear the way. I would just run behind that big fella all game. Get him in motion. Here he comes again.
Class president, throw right side, Mooney shake and bake inside the 35. It's a gain of 13 for Mooney, trying to stay hot. He'll ask to check out. And DJ White will check in. St. Mary's moving the football, 8 minutes to go. Nice pitch and catch here, confidence builder.
Yeah, we haven't seen much rhythm out of the St. Mary's offense here in the second half.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout with them. No, we won't. Sorry, guys.
Music sounded good, though.
No, yeah, we can jam that. We can underbed that any day. Yeah, there you go. Get away, Schwartzy. Okay, we're going to stay here. So, St. Mary's 2 to the left, 1 to the right. DJ White, who's just checked in for Mooney, the bottom of your screen. Shotgun, handoff, right side, Goike.
Inside Goike.
Drags the defender. And a fine play converging down is that defender. That's Stone Chaney, the junior defensive end.
Yeah, and this is just kind of the little trap play that they've been running on first downs almost the whole game. CC's been able to stifle it pretty much, but they're a nice little game.
Against St. Mary's, a new center. Justin Sigler out of this game. Throw right side, Mooney, pitch and catch. Mooney against Blakita. And Ryan Mooney staying hot. It's a first down, churning up his 6th catch of the game. And the state's most intriguing recruit continues to make plays.
And you feel like St. Mary's is setting them up for a double move. And there it is.
Good call. Throw right side. Mooney, handsy, no call. Blakita with good coverage. Second and 10.
See, I would have liked that call with a little bit more field to play with, right? When you're this close to the end zone, the double move is good, but you also, you're leaving the defender on a shorter field so he doesn't have to cover as long. But they've been setting him up. Little curl route, little curl route, little curl route, then pump and go.
Little double coverage now as they'll send Lyons out. Handoff right side, Goike outside the numbers. Tackled out there by Lyons.
Sets up a third.
Cheney also in on it again, and it's third down. So St. Mary's down 3. It's been a field goal unit you haven't really trusted. 3rd and 7, big play here, stick in what might be 4-down territory.
Yeah, you would assume, though, you're going to also try to set your kicker up in the middle of the field.
Throw right side, screen, and it's sniffed out and spilled. Fine play by Pyden, who's been a fine presence today. Here comes the field goal unit, and St. Mary's will try to tie this game as we near the 6-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Well defended here on the screen.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was mentioning you want to put the ball in the center of the field for your kicker, so maybe you run a play to your left, and that way you give your kicker a little better chance if you don't get it. Here he is on the right hash. We'll see if he can knock it through. 31 yards.
Jenner Lieb, the snap from Chudler. Jack Bartis to hold it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Jenner Lieb ties it on homecoming. 17-all with 5:51 left. And the senior steps up and makes a play and bounces back.
And now he's over pumping up the sidelines, and that's good because, you know, he missed that field goal earlier. He had his head down. Coaches came over, pumped him up, and you knew you're going to need him later in the game. That's a crunch time field goal to tie this ball game with 5:51 in the 4th.
Here comes the CC offense when we come back. Gridiron game day might be our best yet. Glad you're with us on week 7. We are the Prep.
5.
Welcome back to Orchard Lake. Beautiful campus, lakefront property. Chad Bush alongside Sam Stick Day. Lexi Ayala doing her usual outstanding work on the sidelines. Jenner Lieb, the man responsible for tying this game with 5:51 left. Squibs one right side, ball loose on the deck, scooped up. Fine play by the left side up man at the 35. And that's number 29. Fine hands corralling it is Lee Kruger, who's been a special teams demon tonight. That Kruger name and Catholic Central, some of these names just kind of, you see their names in rivalries, and for years and years it's a legacy name. He's one of them.
And nothing like a Kruger in October.
Oh yes, it's the month of the Libras.
That's right.
And
look at that moon.
I don't know if I'm ready for you tonight. I'm excited. Happy birthday to Sam Stick Day, my partner, 41 years young.
Oh, you didn't have to tell him the age, Chad.
You know what? I think it's a badge of honor for you, sir. You wear it so well. Cluster trips to the right. Inside gives to Hager, who's had a big night, sniffing 100 yards. And he has it now.
You know, at what point for Orchard Lake St. Mary's do you start just stacking the box and say, hey, you've been beating us on this the entire second half, this run up the middle with Hager. We got to stop this and make you beat us in another way. And the hard part is they got Paquita on the outside, so if you elect to go that route, you're giving up that too. So CC's in full control right now.
They really trust their true freshman left guard, Benny Azuka, too, the 6'3", 280 freshman who's been impressive. Hager continuing to fight for more yards inside the 40, dragging defenders to the 38, fighting for more. And it's his 22nd carry of the night. And he's starting to wear down this Eaglet defense.
Oh, and look at this. Arm tackle 1, breaks through 2, 3, 4 Eaglets, 5 Eaglets trying to bring down 6, 7 Eaglets to bring down 1 Shamrock.
22 rushes now for 128 yards and a touchdown for Hager. Nearly a 6-yard average. Lions will check in, give him a blow. Cluster to the right. Blakita part of that cluster to watch. Again, Rich lower left. Blakita has it right side. Shake and bake inside the numbers. Breaks 2 tackles and finally spilled. But the CC athleticism with Blakita, Ginrich, and Hager starting to show up in this fourth as an eaglet hits the Red Sea and is down. There's 2 of them down. Want to tell you about our friends at Blue Lion Fitness in Ann Arbor. Dan Roth and Ryan Van Bergen doing great things. You need to find them. 401 South Maple in Ann Arbor, 734-929-5268. Or find them on the gram, Blue Lion Fitness. The best training you will find anywhere, especially in Ann Arbor. My goodness, some outstanding names being trained there. Dan Roth does a great job and proud to be a partner of Blue Lion Fitness.
And whoever does his graphics does a great job.
Yes, sir. The girl who does our graphics is Delaney Higgins, and she came up with this. And look at North Branch. Most points per game, 56. By the way, this is courtesy of Goose Poop, my favorite new site ever. Gladwin, 1.2, least points allowed per game. 1.2, my goodness. Warren de La Salle, don't have to look far. Familiar team, a team we've called here on the prep in week 2 against Muskegon. 49 points a game, the best offense. Best defense we're familiar with, Dakota. They're in a battle tonight, and their defense is showing out, giving up just 7 points to Ike. Toughest schedule, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, a rating of 46.6. Currently the toughest schedule in the state. And the longest active win streak, Hudson, with 20 wins.
Number 11, able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. Get a round of applause from the crowd.
It's DJ White, the sophomore safety. This is a fun, energetic young man and a future leader of this team. He's also a quarterback. And the backup quarterback tonight, along with Cole Olston, if things were to go wrong for St. Mary's. So we'll get another look here. Blakita just making folks miss and breaking ankles.
Yeah, a little bit of friendly fire between Orchard Lake St. Mary's players.
Tie ball game, 4:20 left, 17 all. Bo Jackson hands off to Hager. Hager has room up the middle and another big gainer. All the way down inside to the 23. Gain of 10, move the chains. CC doing what they want offensively in this second half.
Yeah, at some point, if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you got to say enough's enough, right? Start sending the blitz, start doing something different on defense. CC's just doing what they do, and they're a well-oiled machine right now.
Well, when Jackson can throw the ball like he has tonight, it certainly opens up other pieces. There's Hager finally tackled for a short gain after he's gouged the Eaglets in this quarter.
A little Bronx cheer from the crowd, too.
Yeah.
Like, hey!
Hager comes off a big gimpy. We told you he was injured in play 2 last game, which was Sunday. That's Skylar Bonner skyrocketing in there. Junior star linebacker for St. Mary's.
Yeah, you saw Hager in the first half being a little bit more limpy, but here in the second half, he has been strong.
139 yards for the senior headed to Alabama. Jackson pitch and go, wide open, end zone caught, touchdown Catholic Central. Andrew Kitchen is heating it up in that black end zone. 23-17 Catholic Central breaks this tie.
And that is just great coaching right there. All game long, you've been running that play. You scored a touchdown on it earlier with the 2 blockers out in front of the wide receiver. This time you pump fake the screen. Defense comes up, leaving that blocker that's been hitting you all game wide open for the touchdown. Flag on the play. I'm assuming it's a celebration.
Yeah.
But you know what? Celebrate.
Yep.
You earned it, 15, Mr. Kitchen. But yeah, to me, that's just great coaching, you know. And we saw Orchard Lake St. Mary's try to do it on their last drive with a bunch of hooks to Mooney and then all of a sudden the pump and go. Same type of philosophy there. You run the same play 4 or 5 times. The defense is used to reacting. Then you switch up the play just a little bit and a wide open touchdown. That's great coaching.
Talk about getting in a rhythm offensively. Both teams have done that in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. And indeed, it is an unsportsmanlike penalty. And so it will be assessed on the kickoff. It is on Catholic Central, so here comes the extra point. It is an important extra point. And the attempt will come from Jake Batigian. Out of the hold of Skylar Hunter. And it is good. Just inside that left upright. 24-17, 3:01 left. We'll take a timeout from Orchard Lake and Molesky Field.
3:01.
Back and forth we go in the second half. CC on top by a touch. We're back on Gridiron Game Day right after this.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome back to week 7. It's heating up. Catholic Central in the end zone. They average 25 points a game. Well, they've got 24. St. Mary's has 17. It was a 2-minute and 50-second drive. 6 plays, 64 yards. And the touchdown pass to Andrew Kitchen from Bo Jackson. And you look at the passing numbers on Jackson in this game. He's now 14-24 for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. So here we go. Catholic Central will have poor field position to kick. St. Mary's could try to take advantage, but this is a fine kick to the 18-yard line. Taken by Thomas at the 30. Cuts inside, ball loose, fumble. Catholic Central recovers. Thomas coughs it up. Catholic Central says they have it at the 38, and the officials confirm they do. And a turnover bug that helped St. Mary's in the first half bites them here late in the fourth.
And not only late in the fourth, this entire second half. If you remember, their first drive started with an interception, then a fumble on their second drive, and now a fumble on this kickoff. And we talked about it at halftime. That turnover ratio kept Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the first half, giving them the lead, and it's cost them the lead here in the second half. That and not being able to stop anything up the middle.
That's right. Connor Davey forced the fumble. And it looks like it was recovered by Jaden Pyden, who's been all over tonight. So CC with a football in control, and they want to talk it over.
Timeout, CC.
Now, if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's on defense, you got to start throwing the kitchen sink at them because you're hoping for a turnover at this point, right? You know CC can get you those first downs to drown out this clock with less than 3 minutes to go. So you got to start blitzing, try something new, send someone off the edge, do whatever you have to do to cause some disruption.
17-3, Catholic Central's outscored St. Mary's in the second half. Look at the Division IV standings. Again, this is according to Goose Poop, and it goes by a rating system, a different analytics. This is not the MHSA Coaches Poll or the AP Poll, but they have Whitehall #1 and Grand Rapids South Christian. Those seem to be 1 and 2. Local Metro Detroit teams, Riverview 4, Tecumseh not so far away, but St. Mary's #8, despite just 2 wins in those Division IV standings. And it speaks to that strength of schedule. Hager up the middle, has room again, bounces off a tackler, still on his feet inside to the 25-yard line. 13-yard run off that right side, and the Shamrocks are just having their way with the Eaglets front seven.
Yeah, it seems like they've just kind of snatched the soul out of this Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense, just running the same play over and over and over again and saying, stop it. And St. Mary's, we're trying. We just can't.
Yep. So, move the chains. Clock continues to run. Catholic Central just having fun in the middle of this field.
What do you think, run up the middle?
Why not? Hager takes his time and turn. Nesson will wrap him up, but not before a gain of 6 or 7.
Another carry.
Even the Orchard Lake St. Mary's field announcer with another carry up the middle.
Yeah, it's been an impressive showing by the Shamrocks rushing the football and taking control this second half.
And it's also been great coaching. You know what? Some coaches, a play will work, and you'll go away from it and not see it again for 2 quarters. This coach, a play works, we're going to run it 17 times in a row.
Lakita 8 catches tonight
Pass
for
complete to
67
number 12.
yards. Make it now 9. It's enough for the first down, move the chains. And now Jermaine Gonzalez is going to have to use his timeouts. With 1:25 left. So folks starting to head for the exits. St. Mary's needs a prayer and a miracle now. CC's just really starting to take over.
Yeah, and it's been a mixture of the run up the middle and that specific play there where they have 2 to 3 wide receivers down to the left of the quarterback, and they've been able to stretch the defense that way and then bound them up the middle with number 2, and it's just been a clinic in this second half. Whatever adjustments they made at halftime definitely have worked for Catholic Central.
Hager now with 158 yards on 26 carries. And yeah, that run game could do some things for you. St. Mary's combined just 99 yards rushing. CC with 191. 34 yards for Nesson, their lead ball carrier. Goike 10 carries for 31. St. Mary's just not winning the battles up front in late stages of this game, combined with a turnover.
The turnovers are really what have killed them, and obviously not being able to stop the run up the middle.
2 to the right, 1 to the left in the gun. Jackson to Hager, and Hager still churning those legs. He still gets 3. And with 1:15 and rolling.
Number 2 with another carry.
St. Mary's is out of timeouts. Or, well, they got one more, I guess. They wait 6 seconds and call it. And stops the clock with 1:07 left.
10-7. How about that? That is the date.
How about it?
Look at that.
So, hope still ahead for both programs. Playoffs, regardless of what happens, St. Mary's looks to be in. They play Oak Park next week in a game that they will be favored in, followed by a game against a PSL school that they'll be favored in. They need one of those two. Catholic Central, if they win tonight, pretty much seems like they're in. They'll also have a game against a PSL opponent in a couple weeks they'll be heavily favored against, and they'll also be favored next week when they take on Cincinnati LaSalle. So both these programs, the beauty of the Central Division is this. You've got 4 teams, and each one is in a different division. CC in 1, Rice in 2, Rice in 3, De La Salle in 2, and St. Mary's in 4.
And that's great for the Catholic Central, or for the Catholic League. You know, you can know what play I'm going to run. Can know what play I'm going to run, and we're going to execute it so well you can't stop it.
Yeah, great seal that time by Cal Rutherford, the junior right tackle. Here comes the extra point. And that is it is good. Okay, it snuck through. How about it?
How did that go through?
Jake Madigan. Wasn't a Picasso, but it counts. A 2-touchdown lead for Catholic Central. They lead 31-17, 58 seconds left. And, hey, it's been just a dominant second half, 24-3 CC. has outscored St. Mary's and made some big critical adjustments in the run game on both sides of the football.
Yeah, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's hasn't had that big play that they had in the first half, right? 2 big plays that led to their scores. They haven't been able to have that explosiveness here. And you know what? We talked about Orchard Lake St. Mary's moving to a different style of offense that's more up-tempo and whatnot, and that's great when the offense is clicking. When it's not clicking, you put your defense in a very particular situation where they're going to have to be on the field all the time, because when you get the ball back on offense, you could be a quick 3 and out. Well, do we have the total time of possession for Catholic Central in this game?
Yeah.
I know Jam Jam's been doing a great job keeping the stats down there.
Yeah, we'll get the time of possession here in a minute. Jam Jam's got that brewing in the back kitchen. We will have our G's of the game coming up after this. Get to possession time is like this, partner. You were right. 28 minutes for Catholic Central, 17 for St. Mary's. Good point.
That's a long time for any defense to be on the field. And like I said, you know, with the up-tempo offense, it's great when you're clicking, but when you're not and turning the ball over 3 and out, turnover, it puts your defense in a tough spot.
Sure has. Kickoff is short. Taken by the up man, Cole Olston. And the senior's going to ride up that right sideline, and St. Mary's will have good field position with 51 seconds left from the 48-yard line.
That has to feel good for Olstein. You know, after a game like this, whatever you could get the ball finally in your hands and get a good return, at least it gives you some momentum possibly going into the next game. But you wonder what Jermaine Gonzalez is going to do here. Are they just going to try to run the clock out down 14? Or you're going to start bombing it and see what your quarterback is made of? Not over till there's 4 zeros on that board.
No, sir. Braden Layden will have 4 wide receivers in the set. It's a hitch route, short, caught. Short gainer to Coates.
And what's interesting with Layden is they tend to roll him left a lot, which is tough for a right-handed thrower. Here he comes throwing right.
Hitch route, Mooney caught. Short gain, 26 seconds and rolling. Mooney's caught 8 rocks tonight. Almost got in the end zone in the second offensive play. All covered that time. All over Mooney was Nico Genrich. Good coverage. And play stoppage. Don't forget, we'll have highlights after for what's going on down there with some upset folks.
No, they're not upset. They're just like, come on, there's 4 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Fans are getting restless.
Sure.
I'm getting my party shoes on.
Hitch route, caught. It's Duke Coates. It's a first down. Timeout. And this ball game's over. No timeout. Time runs out.
And that's the ball.
Catholic Central wins it. They come from behind, trailing 14-7 at halftime, and outscore Orchard Lake St. Mary's 24-3 in the second half to win 31-17. Stick, a game that you have to tip your cap to Catholic Central, who's now won 4 in a row against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and they bounce back on a short week after playing Sunday.
Yeah, if you're Catholic Central, you're feeling mighty good about your football team right now. You play on Sunday, you come back, you play a tough Orchard Lake St. Mary's team who's trending up at home on a Friday, and you pull out the tough win by absolutely dominating the second half. Catholic Central, feel good about yourself tonight.
Lexi Ayala is coming back with our G's of the game for Catholic Central. The Shamrocks win it on the road 31-17. We're back right after this.
They say that this is a game of inches, but I disagree. This is a game of desire and will. 4 quarters of epic drama that plays out in real time right before our very eyes. And every season begins the same way. desire to win. Those with the will to put in the effort and time put themselves in the best position to achieve their desire. This is why we go to work early and come home late. Why we go so hard and why we put in all these hours. Because we have a desire to be great and the will to become everything we dreamed of and more. So when the drama's thick and it comes down to just those few precious inches, we have no doubt what the outcome will be. Because we have the will to outwork anyone to get what we desire. It doesn't matter if it's inches or 100 yards. We want it more, and we're going to take it. That's game.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Lexi Ayala here with running back Evan Hager. Evan, what a game. Over 170 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, one in the beginning, one at the end to put the cherry on top. What was the difference maker in getting things done tonight?
I think it was just our O-line. I mean, we grew up so much today. I mean, they played a great game. I mean, first half we kind of got pushed around. Things didn't go our way, but I'm just so proud of the way we bounced back. It was amazing. I'm really happy for them.
What was the message from Coach at the half to get you guys to bounce back?
Really just keep playing our game. I mean, we're a confident team. I mean, we ran the ball well first half. It's just fumbles. I fumbled. That's on me. I mean, we did really well, but it was just just little mistakes. We weren't really worried. It was just kind of play our game, and we knew we were going to kind of come out with the win.
And Coach gets on you guys about those mistakes, but what's the idea when you hear that coming at you? Is it kind of just the amnesia effect, next play mentality?
Yeah, I mean, we try and keep it next play. We have a bunch of really good leaders on the sideline. I mean, Birdie does a great job. He's really the captain of our huddle. So, I mean, it's really cool just, like, knowing we have that calm in our huddle. It's a great thing.
All right, well, you deserve the G brand hat, G of the game, player of the game right here, Evan Hager. Let's see it. Put it on. We got to see how it looks. There it is. There it is. Looking great. And we also got right here Brady Bakita, another G of the game, center back right here. Go ahead. Put on the hat. Rep the prep. The man tonight. The defense held it down. What do you have to say about that D-line?
I'm proud of my guys. You know, they're one of our best assets for our defense, and they were getting grimy in that second half. They shut down the run, made them throw, and they came up with timely sacks and timely hits all game.
And it was almost like you guys could predict exactly what OLSM offense was going to do, snuffed it out right away. How were you able to do that?
I think our game planning all week in practice. We did a great job preparing for OSL, and our D-line showed up, our secondary showed up, and I think our offense came alive in the second half.
And Brady, as a senior, how do you feel like you have a responsibility to help lead this team?
I think it's just my duty as a captain and just as a upperclassman. These young guys, they've never been up here before, and they haven't been in the speed of a game. So just to lead by example, play hard, and encourage them every chance I get. That's what I want to do.
Hey, well, you for sure did it tonight. Great game. I appreciate it. G of the game. Lexi. you, Chad.
All right, thanks so much, Lexi Ayala. Great job all night long on the sideline. And two worthy G's of the game in Evan Hager. What a night for Hager. By the way, it's a gimpy wheel. He's playing on a bad ankle.
Could have fooled me.
On a short week. 28 rushes, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. This kid's a stud.
What would he have done if he was healthy?
Right? Center fielder, headed to Alabama. Plays baseball. That's what his future holds. But, yeah, could have fooled us tonight. Outstanding job taking over. And really, the offensive line for Catholic Central were not G's of the game. But if we had a third G, it would be that entire unit. And we're going to mention them because the offensive line for Detroit Catholic Central was dominant, especially in the second half. And Rogowski, Azuka, the freshman, Tinnen, Wurzbicki, and Rutherford. A great job by their unit. Catholic Central wins 31-17. Your thoughts?
Yeah, just a great game by Catholic Central. I love the context of just staying with our game. We committed errors in the first half. We just need to stay with it. No panic in their game. And for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you had a nice first half. You came out, you had some big plays. In the second half, Catholic Central just learned how to hit you in the mouth. There was a touchdown play where you were kind of outmanned down against some wide receivers. You only had one guy trying to cover 3. And then out of that same set, they just kept running the ball over and over up the middle. And you got to hand it to Catholic Central's coaching staff. They coached their team well. You heard their players talk about it. Hey, how did we shut them down on defense? Well, it was a lot of what we went through earlier in this week. And that's a great thing when your players can actually look back on practice and not think, oh, God, I hate practice. I just want to play the games. Because I was kind of that player. I just wanted to play in the games, practice for whatever. But, these guys understand the assignment, and they take what's in practice, put it on the field in the game, and come out with a victory.
Catholic Central moves to 5-2, 2-1. They will tie with De La Salle for the title of the Central Division, but they did beat De La Salle. De La Salle won 28-0 and wins the Central Division. Brady Blakita with a big run. Yeah, he had 9 grabs for 73 yards, Stick, but this was a big one, the kickoff return.
Yeah, because they were down 7-0 at that point. And then there goes that man, number 2, for his first touchdown of the game. And we're going to see him a lot through these highlights. But this was the big play for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The throwback pass, wide open wide receiver. Number 31 catches that for the long touchdown. And then here you go, Bo Jackson dropping back. This was right before the half, throwing it down to big number 3. And he gets down to about the 17-yard line. Unfortunately, they missed the field goal. That took us to halftime at 14-7, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Then we come out in the second half, and right away, St. Mary's turns the ball over. Interception.
Oski.
A little Oski. Field goal made there by Catholic Central to cut it to a 4-point game. And then this was the play I was talking about, just outmanned on the defensive end. Probably a timeout should have been called there to kind of address that. But I'm sure Orchard Lake St. Mary's will go back and look at that tape. And then this was a wide open play. Mr. Kitchen catching the ball. And that play was set up by running that screen pass over and over and over. And then once again, Orchard Lake St. Mary's gets the ball back, then coughs it right back up to Catholic Central. And Catholic Central does the dirty work here. And Hager ends his day, put the cherry on top, 2 touchdowns, over 170 yards rushing, almost 30 carries. They fed the workhorse today, and he got it done for Catholic Central.
Catholic Central, 379 yards of total offense. St. Mary's, 298 yards of total offense, but they also ran 23 less plays than the Shamrocks in the game.
30 minutes to 18 minutes of time of possession. That is a big part of this game. Catholic Central just kept pounding it and pounding it and pounding it. The defense finally wore down in the second half.
Layden, 12 of 21 in the game, an interception. Mooney, 5 catches, 63 yards. And St. Mary's was led in rushing by Nessens, 34 yards and just 4 carries. But again, the story, the rushing game of Evan Hager, 171 yards on the ground. Bo Jackson, a fine 15-25, an underrated performance maybe. Bo Jackson was good, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception. He really bounced back, grew up, and just a fine all-around game. Want to thank our fine crew for making this whole thing possible. Couldn't do it without the best in the business, and I mean it. Grateful to have such an outstanding crew led by your executive producer, Alex Westfall, the main captain back of that ship. Also, Robert Sherby, your associate technical director tonight. Chase Kaufman on a camera high above the goalpost, doing great work. Rob Sarna on a camera up top. Who else? Is that Bradley Ross? Sure it is. Brad Ross up with us as well. Tight shot, wide shot. These guys got it all covered. Our main man on the field, Chris Armani Rose, the best cameraman in the business from the field, doing great work. Want to thank Kyle Griffin for doing outstanding sideline coordination.
Schwartzy. Can't forget about Schwartz.
No. We were getting to the headliner. Matt Schwartz on audio tonight, doing great work. Jam Jan on stats. Nathan Bush on stats.
Fish, my man Fish.
Fish on the parabolic mic on audio. And
Evan Westfall. I mean, the whole staff here tonight.
Evan Westfall on graphics. Who else did I miss? Anybody? The birthday boy to my left, the grand finale, 41 years young. The party's in Royal Oak.
Let's do it.
Let's get after it.
Let's
Thanks for having us. Happy birthday. Congratulations on another year of life. You've done a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate
Have fun
that.
tonight. Thanks for doing an outstanding job on color commentary as always.
No place I'd rather be than on my birthday, calling St. Mary's and St. Mary's and CC. Fun game. St. Mary's lost. You know, we're alumni. That's okay. It was a good game to see, and I can be impartial when I'm calling football games.
No doubt. You've proven that. Central Division, and these two representing tonight. Catholic Central a little bit better, 31-17. My name is Chad Bush. It's been a pleasure and an honor from Orchard Lake. We are the Prep. Week 7 Gridiron game day in the books.
Aw, look at the graphic.
Oh, look at that.
Thank you, guys.
Next week, it's the PSL Championship. We'll do it twice, a double dip, 4 o'clock. Detroit Central and Detroit Southeastern. And then the headliner at the top of 7 o'clock. It's Cass and King from Wayne State. My name's Chad Bush. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much. Good night, everybody.